What is going on, everybody? It is episode 641 of Pop Culture Crisis. My name is Brett, and I am here once again with my co-host. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Hello, Crisis Actors. It's Mary. We put out our 5th episode review of The Acolyte earlier today. If you haven't seen it already, you should definitely go find that after the show is over today. But it is Woman Wednesday, so you know Dane is joining us.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good.
Doing good.
I'm excited because there's a lot of cringe content today, and I like to see Dane's cringy reactions.
There is a lot of cringe
My
today.
reactions are cringy, or my reactions to
Your
cringe?
reactions to cringe,
Or both.
excuse me. Maybe both.
Maybe both.
It might be. It's nuclear.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about a lot of cringe today. But before we get started, guys, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? We are past 120,000 subscribers, so thank you all so much for that. Remember to share the video with your friends, loved ones, the people you like, the people you don't like, everyone and anyone in between, because it is the best way to help the show grow, because hopefully they share it with their friends, loved ones, etc., etc., etc. And remember, all Super Chats $20 and over, we will interrupt the discussion, and we will read those Super Chats right then and there. Perhaps you have questions about episode 5 of The Acolyte that you would like to pose to Mary or myself. You can ask those questions then, and we will answer them, and then we will try to get back on topic.
We know that you're not watching The Acolyte.
Exactly.
Why do we even bother giving them spoiler alerts?
I gave a futile spoiler alert before the episode today, and it was really worthless because I don't think anybody's actually watching it. But we are going to talk about a bunch of stuff today that isn't The Acolyte. For once, we have no Acolyte news, though I think we do have some coming down the line tomorrow. But we do have Disney news because
Wait.
James O'Keefe... What?
I'm so sorry. Why is your tongue like red?
Red?
It's like super red.
Cough drops.
Oh, okay. I was
Yeah.
like, are you good?
No, cough drops.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Brett's having a seizure mid-episode.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I just,
Okay.
I had a little bit of a cough, so
Okay,
cough drops.
okay.
We got a bunch of stuff to get into today. No news on The Acolyte, but we are going to talk about Disney because James O'Keefe just keeps coming after them with episode 2 of the Disney tapes.
He went Chris Hansen on their ass, and I love him for it.
So we're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about a new cartoon called The New Norm.
Yeah. It's going to be exclusively hosted on X, and it's anti-woke cringe. I'm just gonna say it. I think that this proves that anti-wokeness is now eclipsing wokeness, and we need to talk about it.
Nostradamus is right once more.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a mind virus all its own.
It's perfect that you're here to talk about it with us.
So we are going to talk about that. We are also going to talk about this amazing story that Mary sent me where a man decided to get engaged just to own the libs.
Yeah, another example, I think, where anti-wokeness went too far, question mark?
Yeah, we're going to have to, this podcast, we're going to be called a lefty podcast if we're not careful
We're
today.
going to end up with the hammer and sickle at the
Yep.
end of the day today.
All right, so if you guys are ready, we will just go ahead and get right into it. Mary,
Sponsors just line up.
I am ready.
yeah, it's like the what's his name? The Ryan Long skit, like right wing versus left wing sponsors, and like all the left wing guys are sponsored by like McDonald's and Apple and all the right wing people. It's like freedom dirt.
Super boner.
Yeah.
Freedom pill.
Yeah, freedom pills. All right, let's go ahead and get started then. First, so I put in the description box today. It seemed to somebody pointed out. They said we were reaching on this one. I put Gen Z Superman. Well, I don't know what else you call this haircut because it looks like Superman is about to go Mog the Rizzler.
It looks like he's about to stick out his gi out for the
Clark
Rizzler.
Kent is about to go
Mog Livy Dunn.
Clark Kent is about to Mog Kai Cenat and Lex Luthor at the same time. I'm actually on board with this for one specific reason.
Zoom in more so they can see the broccoli haircut. Okay,
Yeah.
if you're listening rather than watching, the first look at Clark Kent, David Cornsweet as Clark Kent, has the signature Zoomer broccoli haircut,
Yes.
and I don't like it.
Unreal.
I'm loving it, and I'll tell you why. What I want is the old school Clark Kent jumps into a phone booth and becomes Superman thing, so that his hair is completely different. Like he spins himself into the Jerry curl by the time he's done. and it's going to be awesome.
This is Zoomer cultural appropriation, I don't appreciate it.
I did see this one. This was my favorite. It says, "The city is under attack. James Gunn's Superman."
He's gonna start making TikToks where he's pretending to get arrested.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
Oh my God, I remember those. Those are terrible.
This is, there are more photos though. So there was this one here.
All right.
Look at they don't even look like.
He's not blending in.
They look like weird Dahmer glasses.
The
but
glasses don't look very Zoomer, but okay.
I'm on board for this. He looks as different from Superman as possible. It's not just hair parted the opposite direction.
I think maybe they should have gone for a more hipster look.
Okay, like what do you mean? Like give him like a snapback hat and.
He's a journalist,
A trust
right?
fund.
You know?
Have you ever seen that meme? It says like, I want to see the Superman movie where like the CIA is trying to kill Superman because he's a really good journalist, Clark Kent because he's a really good journalist, and they can't do it because he's actually Superman and they don't know, and it's a comedy.
Is he a good journalist?
Well, I mean that's in the movie that
Is there such
they're
a thing,
proposing
Ethan?
that he would be a good journalist, and he's in contact with Assange and all of that stuff. But it's not just that. There are other photos that have come out. So this one was revealed
This
as
is
well.
his TikTok pretending to get
Yes,
arrested.
it is. So you get to see your first look at Frank Grillo as Rick Flag Sr. and the DC Ultraman right there. I don't know if this is supposed to be U.S. government, if perhaps this is Lex Luthor's private military.
Wait, so who is this woman to
That's the
right?
engineer. That's a character called the engineer. So
Okay.
I like Frank Grillo as an actor, and I think he's got a lot of panache and charisma in roles like this. He was a Marvel actor as well.
Great
So,
use of the word panache.
Thank you.
Panache? I don't know.
He's a great actor. There's a long drawn out like video clip. I don't know if this stuff was leaked because there was like a cell phone video that looked like it was taken from like a business downtown, like
Yeah.
because it was high, of them actually shooting the scene. And
They're not doing a lot to hide what's going
No.
on, but I think they're doing that to kind of give people the sneak peeks and
Yeah.
try to get some hype, but really they're just trashing it.
Look,
I wish we saw this yesterday when we talked about Superman, though.
I know. Like, but it's the whole scene. It's like, how do you can't like sector off the whole of downtown,
Yeah.
and expect for people not to be at least looking out the windows and stuff like that. But I do like Frank Grillo, and I mean again, I know this sounds like cope, but I think once color grading is done and you see the costume in effect, it will look vastly different than what you're looking at here.
You can't fix the haircut in post.
I have no problem with.
You know what?
Wait, do you mean this
maybe
haircut or the Clark Kent haircut?
The Clark Kent haircut.
I love the Clark Kent haircut.
You cannot fix that in post.
I love it.
I can't take it seriously.
I love it.
You don't mean that.
Maybe
love
it's
it. It's
supposed to be played for laughs.
It's
I don't
also
know.
well, yeah, it's going to be less serious than certainly Man of Steel was. It's also really funny. Did you ever see that video where Henry Cavill went into New York City? He went into Times Square and he sat underneath a Superman poster of himself, and nobody recognized him.
Damn.
Yeah, so like Clark Kent would totally
Like
work.
really taking the glasses off.
Yeah, yeah, nobody recognized him. So
It's just how
there's precedent here.
little people pay attention
Oh.
to details, I guess.
That's true. Yeah, that's right.
Maybe you should read this one from Cody Boudreau.
Cody Boudreau says, "My sister loves to Haktua that thing."
Great.
Well, your sister is a heathen, and
Hopefully not your thing.
She needs to go to church.
How would
Okay.
you know?
Oh, that
That's
reminds me.
yeah.
We put a poll up, ladies and gentlemen. Battle of the online psyops.
Yeah,
Right?
Haktua Girl, Hannah Barron, aka Catfish
Lady.
and Tiffany Gomez. I say Tiffany Gomez because I have brand loyalty. I stand her more than the others.
Hannah Barron is the hotter one.
So right now, Haktua Girl is in the lead with 42%.
Recency
Oh,
bias.
yes, exactly. Recency bias. Everyone's like, well, that's the one I remember the
Yeah.
most. So, I will
So
say,
fickle.
however, that all of these have done better than most of these examples have done better than most at actually monetizing their fame, their random fame.
You know, we should have
That's
put
not true,
N-word girl because she just got a deal with Ultra Right Beer. Yeah.
Hannah Barron was also really famous before.
Yeah.
She went famous.
She was just famous in her niche.
She has like almost 900,000 subscribers on YouTube. and
She got
had
dragged
that.
into the culture
Yeah.
war and people had never heard of her before.
Yeah. Yeah. So, do with that information what you will. We'll leave the poll open until the end of the episode. I will, of course, probably forget, but you'll have to remind me as
I'll
we get
remind you.
closer
I'll make
to
sure I
the
do
end.
it.
Anyways, the Rizzler is in effect. His stories are no cap, and I have no problem with that.
I shared a meme yesterday.
His stories are bussin'.
It was like those circle memes, and it's hear Gen Z humor, use it ironically, then start using it non-ironically.
Yes.
In sentences.
Well, that's what happens
And
when you.
that's me, dude. Like that. I feel like that's us. I mean, you're Gen Z, so
It just
but
happens.
it's like, yeah. Like
But even Gen Z is using Gen Z slang ironically.
Yeah.
oh,
That's what they're known for.
whoa.
I was looking at this. How
meta.
At this like very self-indulgent opinion piece in Newsweek about like Gen Z is the best at describing the culture. Gen Z language is the best at describing the culture, and it was written by like a millennial, and yeah.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that.
It's certainly descriptive. Well, we can go with that. Okay. We had a story similar to this one not that long ago, but it's this is
what makes this incident
things are going wrong here. New Jersey gamer flew to Florida to attack an online rival with a hammer. Don't do it.
Real, by the way.
Don't do it. I mean, it would have been more on brand if you did it with like a Nintendo Wii controller.
Oh yeah, like flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
Well, it's like that streamer who went and stabbed his rival streamer. That
Yes,
happened in
which we talked
Korea, I
about.
think. Yeah. Seriously.
What?
Yep.
You've never gotten so heated in a lobby that you were like, I'm gonna find this person.
Listen, many a threat I've been
Not actionable. Not
Yeah.
actionable threats.
I've been privy to on the old Xbox Live, so that's why I'm shocked that
Well,
the guy
his victim
actually going and did
survived.
it.
He survived. He was charged with attempted murder after sneaking into the victim's house, dressed in black with a mask and gloves on. And
How did he find him?
It says he got angry at the victim while playing a multiplayer game, Arc-Age. Is that it?
So he found him how? Like find fellowvideogamer.net? Like
4chan, I guess?
yeah.
I mean,
Well,
he-
I mean,
we
anybody.
did you see the story? Okay. I know you did because I asked you about this. Did you see the story about the guy who was on a plane cheating on his wife? And this
Yes.
lady on TikTok was filming it and making videos and sent the internet after him to figure out who it was so that she could find the guy's wife and let her know. The power of the internet.
And it actually worked.
And it worked.
The wife found it, and now her marriage is blown up.
Yep. And she's been,
And I can't say that I'm mad. I can't say that. I mean, I know that it wouldn't be her place necessarily to stick her nose in their business, but at least the wife knows now, right?
So Arc-Age is an MMORPG developed by Korean developer Jake Song.
Okay.
And so apparently he was in an MMO and he just hated this guy so much he tried to kill him with a
Is
hammer.
this the police statement here?
Yes.
Oh, let's hear it.
let's listen to it.
particularly noteworthy, what makes this incident particularly noteworthy is that it originated from an online altercation.
I love that he's Southern.
Flew from Newark, New Jersey to Florida.
Wait, didn't we cover this story? I feel like we covered this story.
No, what we covered was actually a Stan Twitter argument between a Dua Lipa Stan and a Nicki Minaj Stan, and the same thing happened.
I feel like it was the same thing. I feel like somebody flew to Florida to do that as well.
The Nicki Minaj Stan flew to Florida to confront the Dua Lipa Stan at their house.
Okay, let's keep
About
listening.
what?
I don't about the fact
Stan
that
shit.
yeah, this is a Stan war.
Here we go.
Apparently to confront the victim in person. At approximately 2 a.m. yesterday, our deputies responded to a call at a residence in Fernandina Beach regarding a physical altercation between two individuals. Upon arrival, they discovered a significant amount of blood in the entryway of the home and the victim's bedroom.
Whoa.
The victim's stepfather reported being awakened by screams for help. When he went to see what was going on, he found his stepson on the ground, struggling with the attacker who was in possession of a hammer. The suspect was identified as 20-year-old Edward Ko Kang, and this is his picture.
It's very menacing.
Am I right to believe, if I remember, somebody told me recently that like more people die from hammers every year than from guns?
Hammer attacks?
I don't know if it's hammer attacks or hammer.
Well,
accidents.
he probably saw that video of the barista throwing the hammer into the windshield.
Yes, we
and
still don't know where she got that from.
She forgave herself.
He was inspired by that.
Of course she did.
Yeah. Listen,
The suspect gained access to the home because it was unlocked. At the
Oh.
Well, you gotta lock your doors.
Kang assaulted
In
the victim with
Florida?
a hammer,
That's crazy.
Lock your door, bro.
and the victim was defending himself. The victim and the stepfather managed to disarm Kang and restrain him until our deputies arrived on scene.
You know, you would think that on your flight from Newark to Florida that you would put some thought into this and you might cool off.
Wow.
But this guy's homicidal rage, it lasted a whole 24
How long is that
hours.
flight? How long is Newark to
It seems short.
It's got to be at least a few hours.
2 hours.
2 hours?
Yeah.
Like
You would think that he would, you know,
I've seen multiple
rationalize the situation.
people today talking about the idea of raw dogging flights.
I want to know so bad what happened in the game.
Yes.
So like that's why I'm looking for. Okay, so it's an MMO. Did he steal an item? Like what is it?
he just said one too many disrespectful comments about his mother.
Voice chat went off and got under
Was
the
it voice
skin.
chat stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, the one guy that lived up to his threats.
It's really funny too because like I've seen like more than a few crime shows that have done an episode where like somebody gets mad in a video game and it goes into the real world and everyone's like, that's ridiculous. Apparently not.
I mean, it took what, like 50 years?
It's predictive programming.
Yeah, I mean, they saw those episodes. They're like, so I can do it. Just have to find out how to get to the guy. Look, and then look at this deputy, this cop's just like, and they were playing a video game. I don't even know how you play video games together if you're not in the same place.
How does that work?
How the hell does that work? He's like, they're not even in the same state. How they playing the same video game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good, guys. Deep breaths.
Yeah. Anger management
Box
is
breathing.
important.
Breathe in 4 seconds, in through the nose, 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, out through the mouth, 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds.
Practice mindfulness.
Repeat.
He doesn't even look.
Live in the moment.
He doesn't even look upset in the
No,
picture.
like he's
feels
standing on
vindicated.
business. Like he's proud of himself.
He's like, I do it again, too.
He's like, wait till I get out of here. I'm smashing him with a hammer.
Well,
Talking about toxic male gamers, right?
Whoa.
These are the actual toxic.
These are the
gamers.
actual toxic male gamers.
Give people more of a reason to be mad today. Let's watch this Nickelodeon commercial. This is a real Nickelodeon.
We're just capping off Pride
Yes.
Month right now.
This is from End Wokeness on Twitter. It says, this is a real Nickelodeon commercial aimed at toddlers and preschoolers. I did not see anybody saying that this has been debunked as fake, so I'm going to operate under the premise that it's real.
All right.
So let's go ahead and watch.
Doesn't it just fill you with pride, showing who you are on the inside? With that pride flag up high, be true to you.
Wait, why does his singing voice low-key sound like Tim?
Orange healing, yellow is sunlight, green nature, blue harmony, purple is spirit, baby blue, pink, white represent transgender people, and black and brown represent the queer and trans people of color.
The idea that the
Why-
red salute will end up in like children's programming is so depressing.
Why does it have to be a separate distinction between black gay people and regular gay people? Do they gauge it differently?
I'm sure they would have a very coherent explanation
Do they?
for that.
Do they?
No, that's the problem. They usually do have a very clinical, academic explanation.
Do they gay after hooping?
I really hope that this isn't real.
I would hope so. I don't know. It's I'm playing it because somebody said it was. If it's not,
It has not been community noted.
I did not get community noted on this, so I'm operating under the premise that it's real. But again, as we know with most things on the internet, the internet moves quickly and things can be disproven all the time. It's really funny. Was it on here? Did we talk about the wax figure of Abraham Lincoln that melted?
No. I don't
Okay,
think
so there was like a wax figure of Abraham Lincoln that was put up that melted because of the heat, and then it got community noted saying that the artist actually wanted it to melt in the sun.
Oh,
So that was actually the point.
right, to dunk on the abolition of slavery.
Yeah. Or maybe it's about climate change. I don't freaking know. So my tweet
It's
was like,
hot me when it's hot on a summer day.
yeah.
By the way,
Climate change.
Am I right?
By the way-
my tweet was like, if the assassin doesn't get you, the climate change
I don't
will.
know if this is an unpopular opinion. I predict it will be. Summer is the worst season.
Really?
No, I agree. I mean, okay, no.
Yes.
Fall and spring are the best seasons to me.
Yes.
Yes. I hate the heat.
Yes.
I hate the heat.
It's
I
like,
would
oh my
say-
god, it's summer, and then you stay inside because it's annoyingly hot.
I think winter is worse because of the short daylight, but that's just my seasonal
suck.
depression.
I like summer because like I feel like every time I go skate, I get like twice the exercise because of the heat. Right, so like you sweat twice as much than you normally would. But in general, I agree. Like
Season
I don't
tier
like
list. It's fall, spring,
winter,
summer.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't hate the winters out here because it's not
Yeah,
that
they're
cold.
not that bad.
The winters out here are not that cold, and we don't even get that much snow. It's like
Well, you
30
just
degrees, and I'm like out in a t-shirt.
Wear a
most days.
cool jacket.
That's I can't relate, but that's
Yeah.
you're a Minnesotan, so
The
you're used to it.
I'm pretty much in agreement there. Like if if I was talking about Minnesota winters, then
Yeah.
But anyway, we're gonna be talking more about LGBT programming later when we get into the Disney tapes.
but White Boy Summer is good.
Yes.
White Boy Summer happened 3 years ago.
Well, no, we're reinvigorating White Boy Summer this year. That's what Dane said.
Okay.
forever.
I've just been noticing a lot of people weren't part of White Boy Summer in 2021, and now they're hopping on the bandwagon.
The bandwagon.
And I mean,
Not on my watch.
yeah, a lot of fake White Boy Summer stands right now.
All right. All right, let's go ahead and talk about Dr. Disrespect. I was we this whole thing has played out not really over just the last few days, but over the last 4 years.
Yeah, the Dr. Disrespect scandal is playing out in real time. We almost talked about this yesterday, but I'm glad that we haven't touched on it yet because there was this huge development yesterday. Dr. Disrespect posted an entire explanation for his Twitch ban that took place 4 years ago. And he allegedly was messaging a minor with Twitch's Whisper feature at the time. And there was a lot of questioning. Are these accusations legitimate? A former Twitch employee was the one who broke this allegation to the public.
There was at the time there was reason to push back because the dude was advertising his band. He was like buy tickets to my
He
band.
seemed like he was someone with a vendetta
Yeah.
against Dr. Disrespect,
But
and a
more
lot
has
of
come out
people
since
thought
then.
that it was some kind of political targeting. I disagree with that now that we have all of the information, because in this post, Dr. Disrespect very clearly admitted to what happened. He said, first and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday, and we made the painful decision to have me step down. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last couple years. What he's referring to there is he had a lawsuit with Twitch after his ban, and they reached a settlement, which means both parties were not allowed to disclose the real reason for his ban. But now we know because he disclosed it. He said, now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Here are the most important sentences. Were there Twitch Whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened. No pictures were shared. No crimes were committed. I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. So he's taking responsibility. He's owning up to what happened. But allegedly, those messages between himself and some minor on Twitch were about meeting up at TwitchCon. He was, at the time, planning to meet up with an underage girl at TwitchCon. Okay, that never happened because a Twitch employee found out and they were screening those messages, and that was the reason for his ban. No one knew until now, but this looks really bad for him. And I just don't think that people should be defending him after the truth has come out. I think it's really weird to see a lot of people replying to this and being like, hey man, it's okay. It's good that you're owning up to what you did. We can all move on now, whatever. When he literally just admitted that he was sexting a minor.
I mean, okay, so he aired. What did he say? What were the exact words of the statement? He said he aired on the side of
this is such deceptive wording because he's wording it without saying I did this, I did that. He said, were there Twitch whisper messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Those are the only important words in this entire statement. That's why I'm not reading the rest of it. That is the truth, and he has admitted to it fully. That is the shocking reveal that we were all waiting for.
I mean, if the important context is it or not sexual, which obviously I'm thinking
they leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate.
I know, so that,
I'm saying that
which is his admission, because like messaging a minor like, do you like cheeseburgers is not
okay. Sure,
I know. I'm just a semantic Dane. Sorry.
But that's
obviously the fact that he's not talking about it, it's under investigation. Like,
yeah,
come on.
No, nothing criminal happened. That's the truth. That's why he was able to tweet just a few days ago, I wasn't found for any wrongdoing. Okay, but that's kind of obfuscating the real issue here. And he was merely stopped from meeting up with this person. So I just think it's really cringy to see a lot of people saying that this is an example of cancel culture.
Well, there was a lot of people who asked to wait until the actual evidence came out, and they said that a lot of people are saying like, look, I don't regret saying that because I waited for him to make a statement, and now I have passed my judgment on what happened. But they weren't willing to, throw the baby out with the bathwater just because people were making accusations. But now it seems more clear because of the statement that he's made.
And now, if he weren't aware that this person was underage, that would make it a totally different situation.
I don't know how you
if
could
that
be.
were the case, he would have said, I was unaware that they were a minor. If that were the case, he would have said that. I'm pretty confident that he would say that to clear his name, but he didn't. And I think that I want to caution against scapegoating Dr. Disrespect for the massive problem of child exploitation that has been going on Twitch, even on the public platform, for years now. And that's a way bigger issue than just him. So a former Twitch employee followed this up yesterday saying, I don't think most people have an idea of how bad things were behind the scenes at Twitch. I worked in the department that had access to the most data and information. I saw private whispers, etc. It was literally my job to investigate daily. I saw things every single day that I wish I never had to see. I always advocated for being a good human, always expressed with heavy emotion on my streams how Twitch let PDF files run free every day. I signed an NDA and afraid to get in trouble, but I have to say something. It's been bothering me for so long. These sick Fs don't deserve to be free.
I was under the assumption that no NDA covers criminal behavior.
I think so too, but clearly he is outing the fact that there was a child exploitation problem. But I mean, this has also been public information since Bloomberg put out that huge report about the problem of child exploitation on Twitch back in 2022. And we talked about that. And it's the sexual streams that are being aimed at children, that are accessible to children on the platform. It's the private messaging features. It's the fact that minors are allowed to stream on Twitch and then there are forums of PDF files that send each other links to the streams of minors so that they can go flood their chats and encourage them to do sexual things.
Yeah, Jesus.
And the problem goes much deeper than just Dr. Disrespect messaged a 17-year-old in 2017. It goes much further than that, and that's what people are missing.
There's a lot of details that are very hard here. For the first part is that I'm leaping to the conclusion that at some point it got sexual by their own admission. Is like how, because on Twitch typically there's not even profile pictures. There's just the names of the people. Is like, how does this conversation even begin? You know what I mean?
Right. It seems like the feature was the problem.
Also, like, how would you know if it's a girl unless pictures were shared?
I'm just saying, like, he hasn't released the chat logs, so we don't know what he said or what she said. But
I mean, in fairness, no one would.
Yeah, of course, because it would make him look terrible. And not even to mention, obviously, this guy isn't a criminal, but he is a POS for what he did. not even to mention the fact that this is a married man with children doing this.
Yeah,
this is not the first time, as you told me, that he has been admittedly cheating on his wife. That's just wild that people are saying this is cancel culture. The term has no meaning anymore if this falls under it.
Yeah. And I'm sure more stuff will come out about this. The amount, like my whole Twitter feed yesterday was people talking about this, and most of it was going back and forth on people's judgments on what all of this means. I think it is scarier to think about just the amount of access that, you know, people that are acting untoward have towards minors. And like you said, if there's no information on Twitch about any of this stuff, does Whispers even still exist? Is that feature still
Yeah, it's like the DM.
Is it? Yeah.
Okay,
There's
that's just the DMs.
There's a $20 one there from W Nanners.
He said, why did Twitch pay out Doc? Why was it Doc who sued Twitch, not the other way around? There's a lot missing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Like, we don't know what went on privately in that civil dispute. However, he probably got a payout because they banned him for alleged criminal wrongdoing, and they found that it was not criminal.
But this is what I'm saying. I mean, clearly something inappropriate happened, but I don't know if we can. I don't know.
I also saw people talking about like, okay, so Twitch is now proving to be like a net negative for Amazon, and that this situation could end up being what like causes Amazon to just cut bait with Twitch.
Maybe.
Yeah,
but who would buy it?
Yeah.
Who would buy Twitch at this point? Who would want this mess on their hands?
I mean, the platform works really well. So if you think about the platform as software, the software is really good. But the thing about the issue with Twitch is that they have no backbone. They have no backbone, and when they ceded their identity from being gamer streaming to whatever stupid opportunist can come here and use the great software, that's when it started to go sour. And that's the issue. I think that Twitch should make a terms of services and kind of like a mission statement of what the platform is intended to be, if it's for gamers, by gamers, or if it's like real life content and whatever, and they have to have their rules and enforce them. But they're just so flippant about it that they have literal prostitutes writing their names.
Yeah.
They can't decide what kind of content
it seems
they
like
want.
nobody changes their terms of service more than Twitch.
Right, which just
No, it's
shows
not
that
even
it's
that.
chaos behind
So
the scenes.
they changed their terms of services, and then people immediately try to in this platform more than any other, immediately try to test the limits of it.
Yeah.
And then they go immediately back on their restriction.
Someone in the chat said that minors should stop, like they should stop allowing minors on the platform, which I think is a huge part of the solution. They're not willing to do
No,
it
they should,
because they're in it for the money, obviously.
Five
but
more
like,
states just put like age verification requirements on Pornhub.
Right.
So it's going to stop operating in like 5 more states. Now,
right.
I pointed
Interesting
out
how they completely shut down operation in those states instead of just following the law.
They need to ban
on top of that, Ron DeSantis is banning people under the age of 14 from all social media platforms in Florida starting in January next year, which is also a great start, but not the ultimate solution.
What is the age of consent, like of use on Twitter? 13?
It's probably 13.
Is it like that's the
I think it's 13.
the age to use Twitter?
There's like hardcore
but
It's
porn on
13
Twitter.
on most
they're
of these
like
platforms.
Twitter like openly brags now about
Yeah.
the influence of porn on
And
the website.
not only that, but there was a Wall Street Journal report on Instagram relatively recently as well, where they started new accounts that were identified as under 18s, all 13-year-old accounts, that were immediately being fed the most hypersexualized content as soon as they opened the app.
Yeah.
By the way, okay, that's fucked up. But back to the Twitch. Twitch does not need to ban minors. Twitch needs to ban all the obvious, like hot tub titty streamers. They need to stop beating around the bush about it.
Yeah.
Like it's porn. It's softcore pornography.
I agree, but
they need to ban it.
That's
and they
more
need to
difficult to
enforce
enforce. That's more difficult to enforce
Okay.
because where are you going to draw the line if there's so many gray areas that people can say,
No.
hey, I just
That's
wore a
what I'm saying.
low-cut top and I got banned because...
I mean, when you're doing ASMR where you're emulating sexual sounds while exposing your breasts, I know it's kind of that quote, like I know it when I see
Yeah.
it, but it is.
But
You
that
see it.
objectively is more difficult to enforce than you just can't be on this platform if you're under 18.
We'll make it for video games and then make some rules and put them on paper about. Listen, I'm not saying enforce a dress code, but maybe you do.
I would be pro that, but it's
Right.
not going to go down well for them.
Okay, so if you don't want to do it, force a dress code, then don't do it. But what I'm saying is, like, make the rules and stand by them. But the biggest rule has to be no, like, explicit sexual content. And, you know, I'm sure some people will stick around and they'll protest and whatever. But, stand by what you are. It used to be for gamers. Like, I don't know why it's a campsite now.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely shouldn't promote that content.
They
at
do
the very
promote
least.
it. I never click on these things. And
It's always on the homepage.
Always. And on the left-hand side, it's like the accounts you see the most, and on the bottom it's like some similar accounts. And I was like, oh, let me watch. I want to watch some Elden Ring, and I clicked, and it was just a chick with her tits out, and it like not playing Elden Ring at all. I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, ultimately, I would just say this is only the tip of the iceberg when it comes to the problems on Twitch, especially involving children on the app.
and by the way, I'm not saying. I mean, you know, the weird thing about this generation is that it's so hard to have like a decent moral middle ground because fuck you if you think I'm white knighting. The truth is there is a lot of women hate, like on the internet, and
Dane does most of it.
I do a fair amount of it. And listen, it's my market. No, but for real, there is a lot of chick hate on the internet because I mean some chicks are dumb as shit. But like even still, some people do it really maliciously, and they leech onto it and they hold on to it and they mass report chicks that they have no business doing, and they send inappropriate messages, and that's wrong. That's wrong. And so please take this call to action about removing like the obvious like sexual exploitative content. And you know, there's gonna be hot chicks looking hot playing video games, that's fine. But if they're just playing the game and not being like, oh, if I get 50 super chats, I'm gonna do a little sexy dance where I check my tum tum. It's like, how is this not obvious?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, wait, this rifter from Dr. Disrespect. Sus. Dude, this is like the second time you've been caught like doing inappropriate shit. Stick to the games and making millions. I don't know what to say.
Yeah, that's hopefully what he's going to do.
All right. Cringe or cute of the day. Also, I need more people to submit cute of the day because we keep running out of
We're
pets.
in a cute shortage.
Right now, yeah. If you have pets that you would like to show off, hashtag PCC pets. I know I miss some sometimes, but I tried to get to most of them. But what would you like to see first? Cringe or cute of the day? Cringe first? Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. Mary sent me this one right before we went live today. So let's go ahead and watch this. It says, this is how I reparent myself.
I'm here. I'm here. And I know you're scared. I don't know what to do. But I've got you and I won't leave you. And I love you and I'm so sorry.
Dude, how do people share this? This is the kink fetish that we were talking about they love being ashamed.
It's safe to move through it.
Like, how more on the nose can you get? Purple haired chick.
Blue hair. Are you colorblind, bro?
My bad. Blue hair. Correct. Fact checked. I always wanted someone to validate my feelings. Christ almighty. I can't read that. Also, choose contrasting colors so I can read your stupid.
I always
communist
waited for
gobbledygook.
someone else to comfort me how I needed it.
This isn't it. This isn't what you need. You need me. Being like, turn the camera off, Susan. This has gone far enough.
Keep breathing.
keep breathing. Christ.
Like, there are no words.
Whatever.
There are no words.
What is this?
Like, obviously it's been pointed out a million times, but the fact that you set up the camera before you started having a mental breakdown
They
says
get
it all.
worse every time. I feel like this is like a video for an artist portfolio. It's like, this is me being an deranged human
It's
being.
performance art.
Imagine being like a Hollywood casting director and you get fired because you keep hiring actors who can't cry on cue. They're like, look,
They're right out there.
all
They're
of
just
these
ugly as
people
shit.
on TikTok who just set up their phones
She could do a better job than Amanda Stenberg.
and cry on camera, and you can't find me one Hollywood actor or actress that can cry on cue. I can go down to the local Starbucks and just spit in any direction and find a blue-haired person who would be able to cry on camera for me.
She had like an ancestral existential crisis on cue. Dude, how? But also, every time I come up here like at 2:30, and Brett and Mary are like cackling. It's like, oh, he'll hate this. And
We're
I
deranged.
always hate them. They're terrible.
Yeah, I mean, sorry, Dane, but that wasn't the one that you're going to hate the most today.
Actually, yes, there
This
is
is the
there is
first
worse
one.
coming up later on in the show.
There
I
is.
promise you that.
I'm going to go through Cute of the Day here, at least show one so that we can get more from you guys. This is from Ellen Thompson. It says, busing to school, my grandson and Lily playing. She loves it. Hold on. Watch this.
Wait, is this cute?
Yes. That is cute.
No more cringe?
No more
No more
cringe.
cringe.
I thought we were.
No, that's later. That's later.
Bye, Lily.
Yay.
She's having fun.
Yay. Okay. This is nice.
Very cute.
This makes me feel better.
You're
that her
reparenting
school?
yourself right now.
Yeah,
after seeing
Dane is
that.
reparenting right now.
puppy in the wheel.
I know the cringe of the day was really bad. I know.
I always wanted a puppy.
I always wanted a cute of the day.
Say cute of the day on Twitter at Fantastic. Oh my god. I can cry on cue.
Perfect.
I love it.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Mary, it's time to get started.
Sorry, I need to compose myself. I need to reparent myself. Okay, so last week we started covering the first installment of the Disney tapes, and this is now a multi-part series from James O'Keefe, formerly of Project Veritas, in which he is exposing a lot of the corruption and outright bigotry, anti-white discrimination that is going on at the highest levels of the Disney Corporation. In that video, he was showing clips of their vice president, Michael Giordano, on a fake date with one of their undercover journalists. He basically said that as a white male, he feels his position is threatened there. There are plenty of roles where they will just not hire any white men. But this one is a bit of a curveball, the second part. First off, though, I wanted to show how they chased down Michael Giordano.
There's a 20, though, first from Dr. Larsena. Says, Brett, if you can spit in every direction, would it be Haktua?
You can Haktua
Yes.
in any Starbucks and find someone who cries on TikTok.
Yes, you can.
But yeah, I wanted to show him going full Chris Hansen on Michael Giordano at this restaurant
That's
in LA.
from the very beginning of this
Yes.
clip,
Not a
right?
frame.
Okay, here we go.
This is an LA day, you know? We haven't
Blur her face out because she's doing important work for society right now on,
She really
on Hinge.
is.
had a lot of them. Sorry again that I was 2 minutes late.
All good. You don't care if my girlfriend comes to pick up my K-pop, right?
No, of course.
Okay. Oh, hey, babe. Hey.
Hi.
Do you guys know each other?
Yes?
Wait, do you guys know each other?
Yes.
Oh, dance break. Dance away the pain.
Thank you. Here we go.
You told me you had a tickle in your throat.
I did. I
Is this what you call tickle? Going out with my friends?
I just imagine you would love this as general reality TV.
I know, like
This is
James
your
O'Keefe
stuff.
is truly an entertainer. So then he walks in.
I love the music.
How dramatic is Jason O'Keefe?
Michael Giordano? Maybe.
Do you work for Disney?
I'm not gonna.
What does
this
he bring
you
his
right here?
Apple computer?
I'm not. So, So
Chase him.
you are the vice president of the Walt Disney Company, and you're on tape saying that you don't hire white males. Quote, "No way we're hiring a white male."
There's no way we're hiring a white male in this world.
Sir, are you the vice president at Disney? Do you know about Title VII of the Civil Rights Act? About discriminating against people based upon religion and race, sir? Quote, "I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white, you know."
I hear all the time, like, I'm looking to hire writers and actors who bring diversity. I'm not looking to bring on any more clients who are white.
Disney is concerned I'm a white male. I have friends in HR. Mike, who are your friends in HR?
As far as Disney's concerned, I'm a white
So
male.
you're a VP and you're
That's not
single?
Who they're looking to promote.
Yeah, that
I
was
have
his
friends
first
in
mistake.
HR, and I have friends in those divisions.
Do you think that being quiet is going to help you?
You don't have authority to put me on tape. Goodbye.
I
Okay,
will
then
put
he
you on
starts
tape.
chasing the
and I do
Tesla
have that
on foot.
authority under the First Amendment. You know, just because you work in Hollywood doesn't give you entitlement to discriminate against people on the basis of race. Michael Giordano.
This is just cool.
Do it! Do that. No, you'll let me piece the guy with the camera.
He's got the Tesla.
He's weaving through traffic.
See if we can catch up to him. Hi, Michael. Watch out. Watch out. Hi, Michael. Discrimination on the basis of race. Title VII of the Civil Rights Act. Look at his face. Look at his face.
We got a 20 there real quick, Mary.
Not that Jon Stewart said, "Mary, do we stand James Beard?"
Do you stan his
Do we
beard? I think they meant stan.
Who?
Do you like James?
Oh, James O'Keefe's beard?
Yeah.
It's not the best beard I've seen, definitely, but
Respectfully, no.
Here we
Yeah.
go. Let's continue.
I always get my exercise.
You're an American
with these
hero,
guys.
but
Whew. Oh man.
maybe the
He
solo
was, he
stash.
was out of there on the New York Minute. We confronted him and he drove away in his Tesla. Very upset. The two girls confronting him at the same time. Apparently he lied and told one girl that he has a little itch in his throat.
now he's
Someone
going to
gesturing.
tell the people
Let's
at
see
the
what happens.
restaurant what he did.
This guy-
I need a reality show where the two women are now mad because, like, he chose one of the undercover reporters over the
Dude,
other.
we need, you know how we had the conservative chicks calendar? We need one, but with all the hot
Undercover
Project Veritas
journalists.
chicks.
But with their faces blurred.
They're
Okay.
obviously all smoking hot.
for Disney, and he was discriminating against people in the hiring process. And he was on a date, but it wasn't a date. It was an undercover person with a hidden camera. The vice president of Disney sat right next to you.
He's the vice president of Disney.
You bet. Yeah.
What's his name?
His name is Mike
Wait,
Giordano.
that's Chase Hudson?
That was like a fake date.
That was a fake date.
And-
Hold on, pause. That guy at the table, who's not in frame right now, he's a famous TikToker, and he's one of the TikTokers who
Actually,
pretended
two
to be
girls, one girl
arrested.
in front of the other.
Was it?
Yeah.
He was lying
Which
to
one
one
is
of
he
the
on the
girls
other
about
side?
the
On the other
table.
side,
Girls
yeah.
he was
It's
dating.
Chase Hudson.
So it was a whole.
That guy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
That's
That
crazy.
was a real undercover
Good grift that
investigation
you can
right
get.
there. That was not a
He
real
dated one of
girlfriend.
the
There were two girls, and
D'Amelios.
The other girl made an excuse, and then they showed up and confronted him. And
Wait, and so that girl was
Is the D'Amelio the girls that do the-
It was like a set
Yes.
to get
Yes.
yeah,
Wow.
not a week.
Wow. Okay.
He was one of Charlie D'Amelio's ex-boyfriends.
Okay.
That is so funny.
Okay.
The things you see in Hollywood. So that was hilarious.
That was awesome.
And the second part of the Disney tapes is going to cover a fake Hinge date with Dave Mocker, who is a director of production finance at Disney. We can blame him for the fact that the Acolyte budget was $180 million, actually.
Did he
And
actually say that?
about the Acolyte?
Yeah.
No, but he says he is in charge of creating the budgets for all of their content.
Disney shows might be under a Lucasfilm employee. It might be a Lucasfilm employee who does it.
Possibly.
I don't know. But,
Possibly. But this was more of a curveball, as James O'Keefe said, because he actually claimed that although there are diversity spreadsheets for every department in the company, you basically have to hit the glass ceiling. There are not any non-white or non-Jewish people allowed in the C-suite executive
So
branch.
Disney's like, we discriminate a bit down here, and we discriminate a bit up here, and it
Yes.
all ends up equal.
Which shows they're saving all the non-white hirees for the diversity, equity, inclusion department and the people who are going to be on camera.
Let's watch this one here. This is the first 2 minutes and 40 seconds here.
So you think that they wouldn't hire a C-suite who's not white or not Jewish?
In entertainment, no. There's also like glass ceiling to that. I feel like it's not, there's a glass ceiling. It's not quite like being breached yet. You're not going to see it.
Oh, internet.
Is this censorship?
Oh, are we being taken out by Disney right now?
Disney is trying to censor it.
On white, non-Jewish.
Unless you are a white Jewish man, well, you're likely never going to see Disney's C-suite.
She was like Asian and Hispanic.
Haitian,
Hispanic, mix.
Oh, I'm good.
Just left Disney like a month ago. She left because she didn't really have, she's a woman. She didn't really have either of her bosses in her corner.
Okay.
And she quit saying that she just was like, I was just not feeling right. So I feel, and that being said, that the department heads are two Jewish men. Not that I'm any against this man, just saying that she, being of color, felt bad and she quit. Because she just said that I can't seem to like him.
The very well qualified Haitian Hispanic woman who had rapidly worked her way up the Disney ladder left the company, acknowledging that she likely had no future there, oddly enough, because she wasn't white, Jewish, or man enough.
So maybe there's this juxtaposition between corporations, especially in entertainment, that say, you know, we want diversity and all these things, but then in reality,
but it's a number. Like, you know, like I've done the reports for diversity inclusion. They make us do every year, saying, okay, like look at the shows, tell us the diverse cast, all crew members are in there. So the same number can't go up. I'm like, yes, it's gone up, but I feel like that's like a forced metric.
Does every department have diversity spreadsheets? I'm seeing a pattern here. And that is from Disney's hiring practices.
what about like the LGBTQ? I want to see them do it more in like the kids' shows.
She's really selling it.
It's the way the world is. You can't like pretend it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
And say like, oh, we're just going to show like one section of society. That's all the world is. The world is like full of everybody.
Right.
And that should be on screen.
So Disney's philosophy is that you're never too young to learn about the LGBTQ agenda.
Do you think Bob Iger is corrupt?
Now, yes.
Oh,
now he just wants.
He's getting fired.
He, like many, believe Bob Iger is corrupt. And if you look at the recent filings of Disney,
I love their like find a picture of evil Bob Iger.
Man,
most evil
it's
he's ever
really
looked.
sad that evil communist overlords can't find love.
Disney's gonna have to start putting up pictures in their office of these women that are going on dates with Disney employees to stop them from getting caught up in the honeypot net.
Netflix is gonna make us show like Nichey like we've gathered C-suite CEOs to find love that is not James O'Keefe.
There's a $20 super chat there from Das Pooch.
He said something for Mary to consider. The Twitch Whisper system requires age 18 plus, so she lied to use it, and Dr. Disrespect likely didn't know. This could also explain Twitch settling the suit with NDAs. They look bad for age gate fails.
I mean, that would if it's supposed to be that.
They both
and
have liabilities in the situation. But at the same time, I feel like you would clear your name by very openly telling everyone, I was not aware that the person was a minor. And then he edited his tweet multiple times to take the word minor out of it. Then he put it back.
Listen,
so I'm still suspect of his intentions.
The guy's quickly trying to cheat on his wife on the internet.
No big deal.
Who amongst us?
But you are so right. Like, how are you a C-suite executive at the Walt Disney Corporation and you're single and
you're super lame.
Prowling Hinge? That was really what got them into these situations. But yeah, it's not looking good for them. And I feel like if Disney fires these two guys or whoever comes next in this series, they're going to look even worse because they're basically admitting fault. So do you think that they're going to lose their jobs?
I mean, the dude who says Bob Iger is corrupt is going to lose his job, right?
I don't know. They couldn't have possibly known.
Is he somehow protected by saying this so like it would look bad to fire him?
It's also bizarre that you're, voluntarily trading your soul by working for someone you know is a corrupt narcissist.
Well, they're business people.
But yeah, this is a guy who tracks diversity in all of their annual reports. He sees the numbers.
What's really funny is if you listen to some of the other segments in this, he talks about how they know in certain places where it doesn't work, where it doesn't feel natural. He talks about a show called, Death and Other Details, but it was he said Death
and Other Tales,
and he said Debt and Other. And so they know, like, this is not, this is one of those things where they gaslight you and they say you're crazy, but they know.
Even he, who is saying there should be more, like, gay stuff in children's programming, he openly said on this date that he thinks diversity is going too far, and that in that specific show, Death and Other Tales, that it felt inorganic, it felt orchestrated, and like they were just trying to check boxes. Yeah. So even the woke people know that they're effing up right now, but they cannot publicly admit defeat.
Correct.
This is, again, our weapon against gaslighting, because you can see them admitting it.
Is California a state where you have to require consent to be filmed? I feel like it is.
I don't know. I actually don't know.
No idea.
All of this stuff.
I mean, I'm sure he knows. I'm sure O'Keefe knows.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's already, made sure that this is
he wouldn't get the
permissible.
The VP of Disney under.
As for the LGBTQ stories for children, I wanted to go further into the video to see his full comment about that.
Okay, this was at 9:22, right?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Now, let's look at the lengths that Disney will go to push a woke, diverse agenda into kids' programming. Young kids. And also hear firsthand why they would do such a thing.
James, and then cut in a clip of The Little Mermaid.
It's a good idea to get younger kids introduced and educated on the ways of LGBTQ.
What about like the LGBTQ?
Yeah.
I want to see them do it more in like the kids' shows.
That'd be great, yeah.
Are you asking me on a date?
Your pulse and heartbeat have quickened. No. It's the way the world is. You can't like pretend it doesn't exist, right?
Yeah.
And say like, oh, we're just going to show like one section of society, that's all the world is. The world is like full of everybody.
Right.
And that should be on screen.
That's my little sib Blake and her girlfriend Ghibli.
Following in Mom's wake. Oh, nonsense. I'm just an architect.
It's important, I think, for me to see like, the LGBTQ stories and like, especially for kids so that they can understand all of that and introduce it to them just so that they're comfortable and all this stuff. Like, do you think that Disney like makes that a priority?
I think they are.
Do you think it's authentic? Like,
not quite.
Not quite.
Netflix does it better.
So, Disney's philosophy is that you're never too young to learn about the LGBTQ agenda.
Great stuff.
Apparently, even Dave thinks Disney has gone too far, pushing the DEI
So that's where he
thing
starts talking about Death and Other Tales.
Yep.
But
I can fix all of this. We just need to move the Disney headquarters to a red state, so when they're in Tinder, they match up with chicks like, personally, I don't like all the communist agenda here. And he's like, say no more.
He's clearly trying to simp for her on the
That's
date
what I'm
because he
saying.
thinks that he's on a date with a libtard chick. So he's like, yeah, I love gay stuff.
I want to meet there's got to be some outtake interviews where they just meet the most wholesome Disney executive ever, who's just like, he just keeps saying, yeah, but I want to hear about you. They keep, like, how do they
not for a second do they like question the fact that she's only asking him about your job and all of the intimate details of your job. Like they never second guess themselves, and the camera is I hope well hidden.
Yes,
because they would have to be really drunk not to notice that. But I know this is getting millions of impressions on X right now. I still feel like it's not getting enough attention, and I'm just wondering if anyone from Disney is going to acknowledge the fact that this is being posted.
No, I think that they have, Disney's pretty lucky in that this is James O'Keefe. This is going to stay within right-wing circles, and it's not going to really penetrate past that. It usually doesn't.
That's the
problem.
hard thing.
Like when 2020 was going on, and we won't get into what was going on during the election season, there was all sorts of undercover videos being released that should have been shocking to everyone, but nobody sees them because normal people aren't on X.
Well, also because there is just a glass ceiling, so to speak, in the algorithms, so that normies generally just don't come across this stuff. And if you mention it to them, they'll be like, oh, well, that happened like one time.
I love that his company is called OMG.
Yeah.
The O'Keefe Media
It's a
Group.
great name.
He's really in his element right now, and we love that for him.
When is he going to start producing stage plays again? He's got to make his
gotta
stage
dance.
plays next. We know he loves to dance.
Oh, also, he posted an update saying that Disney Studios blocked him and his company on Instagram. The pettiness of it all.
They're like,
what do you think that's going to do for you?
give him the block button. That's what they're doing right now. Right now, what I want to see is somebody at Disney talk, like they all get called into like separate meetings where they have to go like, be on the lookout for these women, and if you can, start taking selfies with the women you go on dates with so that we can catch these women red-handed.
Seriously though.
You know?
But they just genuinely thought that some hot broad was just really interested in his life, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is really sad but funny.
They're like, she's like, why isn't she asking about my family?
And he's like, no, let's talk about you. He's like, no, let's talk about
diversity for 2 hours.
It is fair to point out, a lot of people, whenever these videos are released, people say, who cares? We already knew this. It's good to have stuff like this so that you can ungaslight yourself and remind yourself that you're not crazy. This is real. It is happening. It is not something that you're imagining.
Yeah, we already knew about all of these spreadsheets. It's just a good thing to hear it from the horse's mouth.
Correct.
Shane is gonna like start doing this. He just wants someone to make the fake clouds.
Yes. The cloud industrial complex.
Yeah, we were joking about how Alex Clark should go like on a hinge date with someone who's working for the FDA.
Yes.
And ask about all the hormones they're putting in our milk.
Yep, we need to do that. All right, let's go to Super Chats.
Shane H. Wilder said, June 26th in the year of our Lord 2024, my dearest PCC, the French outpost of Target has also been pilfered of Diablo sauce. They offered me mild, but I refused the poison. Yours truly, Shane H. Wilder.
Wait, why the hell would Target have Diablo sauce?
I don't know what the French outpost of Target is, but
I do buy Chick-fil-A sauce from Target, though.
Hell yeah.
To have it home.
By the way, I went to Taco Bell again, asked for Diablo sauce, and they gave me mild.
I think they just don't like you.
They have it out for you.
They just don't like you.
Twice. No, the guy's my homie because he
really doesn't like you. Then
he has like a Vegeta tattoo, and I'm like, oh, you're Mexican and you love Dragon Ball. I like it too. And he was like, oh, and then he like showed me all his tattoos. I was like, okay, give me my tacos.
Then you got stabbed in the back.
He secretly hates
gives
you.
me mild.
Yeah.
It closes the window.
Yeah. Corey Anderson said, Dane, Elden Ring DLC review thoughts.
Listen, Elden Ring is the best Souls game. So it's good, but it's annoying. And it's not because it's hard, because they're all hard. That's the idea. We hate ourselves when we play this game. It's because when a level 2 rat can kill you in 2 hits, and Radon, God Emperor of the universe, can also kill you in 2 hits, then like, what's the scaling? You know what I mean? It destroys the lore.
There was a lot of talk about power scaling from the Acolyte last night, from the fights between, you know, what did we call him? Darth Edgelord and
we saw the boss fight.
And Jackie.
Yeah.
But it's cool. It's beautiful. The weapons are kind of meh. I'm not gonna lie. I've been playing with Waffle Sensei.
Let's do 2 more.
Shane H. Wilder said, Mary, why is your tongue red? Brett, because I'm not a giraffe.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Point being that yes, I've had to eat cough drops for the last couple of days.
Pat the plumber said, if you had put Catfish Girl, I would have known who it was and voted her.
We almost put that too, but then we didn't.
I thought you guys would know her name. I guess I was wrong.
By the way, that was precisely what I was like, Catfish Girl.
And then Sketch Therapy
Hot
says
Catfish
Therapy says Smilo Ren. That's actually what we put for the thumbnail today.
Yeah.
We put Smilo Ren. So.
You called him Darth Gimp Mask. That was also a good one.
Yeah, it's his name.
I like that.
All right, let's go ahead and move on then, shall we? It's time to ruin Dane's day even more.
God!
He's gonna love this.
No! Is it boomers?
Yes, it's boomers, as always. Okay, so the word woke gets thrown around a lot on the internet and on this show, admittedly, but I'm starting to think that anti-wokeness is also reaching a fever pitch and becoming a mind virus in its own right. And the latest example of that is a new show, a cartoon being exclusively aired on X, called The New Norm Show, it's being called the South Park of X. I don't know who called it that. It definitely doesn't deserve that title. But they posted a mini pilot of the first episode of this animated sitcom. It has, I believe, JP Sears on it, Dave Rubin, Larry Elder, and a special appearance by an animated Elon Musk. And they also posted a link to donate. So if any of you feel strongly about it after you watch, you can go and support them. But let's just look at the first episode of this monstrosity.
What's that?
Progress. It's the new norm.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm.
Oh my god.
I'm the old norm. I want normal beer.
Warning, warning, perimeter reached.
What does he have to ankle bracelet?
Your fault I got house arrest.
You're the one who threatened the school board.
I gently suggested
Yelled.
they stop brainwashing my daughter that girls aren't girls and men aren't men.
Sometimes they're neither, or both, or furry and dressed like dogs.
Ow! Janice! What's that?
Warning, offensive.
Actually, that is one of my pronouns. Also they, them, and me.
They're appropriating my eye color in here, and I'm not very fond of it.
Or non-binary?
How do you know that word?
I learned it in school.
That's why I'm locked up.
Norm, the judge agreed to conditional parole.
What condition?
Where's
the laugh track?
That's
You're
staying here?
Chaz is part of a new government program.
To re-educate homophobic, transphobic, racist.
Charlie, finally, someone normal.
I don't understand. You're black.
Did that just Black Whisper?
You're his friend?
And boss. Speaking of, when you coming back to the trophy shop?
As soon as I get rid of this, which means I gotta take in that?
Offensive.
Chaz is here to re-educate Norm.
In non-bonery studies.
Offensive.
I'm allergic to dogs.
It's okay. Billy is an emotional support dog and non-binary.
Oh, okay then. Good dog.
I come here to get away from woke.
Trouble at home?
My boy, or whatever it calls themselves now, is thinking about transitioning.
Reggie?
Try Regina.
Transitioning to what?
Another fumble.
Hopefully not a Jets fan.
Probably because you're neglecting him
This
to
bud's
watch football with his deranged family.
I can't drink. I'm not 21.
Y'all influenced my boy to cut off his junk, but draw the line at beer?
Can't do this.
Yes, we can. Find a way to break him. Maybe we can fix the country.
I just want normals. Beer.
You know there'll be jokes.
The new norm ain't the same as the old norm. Everything's changing and I don't know when.
Is this a one-off?
Just give me the song.
Is this a one-off? Are we done with this, or is this like a recurring thing?
They're saying that
Is
this
that John
is
Rich doing the song?
pilot.
Are resources being allocated to this project?
Yes. Yes, and it's real. This is the pilot of a new animated sitcom series. And I mean, I don't think anybody can sit here and tell themselves that that's not dog shit.
This is horrendous.
Like, it's offensive. It offended me. I'm triggered right now.
Yes.
That made my skin literally crawl. Like, I need to reparent myself. I need to reparent myself after I just saw that. Like, I'm gonna film myself crying.
In the same way that I said that Mr. Bertram could have saved itself if it would have gotten away from the on-the-nose humor and gone more towards the other stories.
This is like a parody of Mr. Bertram almost, but it's not. They're being sincere.
Here's what I genuinely don't get. So the left is humorous. I mean, the left is yes, they are humorless. So you think the funny people would that be on the right? But this is.
But they're not.
Okay, here's the biggest issue. Take a shot. It's boomers, and here's why. It's because they're still in the workforce, and they're working and they're funding horse shit like this. They need to pass the torch. Like this is them with their money and their resources trying to appeal to the youth that they've corrupted.
But they're not trying to appeal to the youth because it's clearly making this old boomer dad character the one that you're supposed to find relatable because he is powerless, hates his children, and his life is a living hell because of wokeness. And it's just a bunch of Facebook boomer memes that are being filtered into the show and made into all of these one-liners.
So is this a cartoon cope for boomers as to why their children hate them?
Yes. Yes, it is.
We have delved into the psychology of that.
This is literally... I saw this as like the avatar of the powerless American male at this point. Like, it is so cringy because of the deeper, that like dark tone that's underneath it of how powerless they feel and how like, this is why people came up with the term woke right, because it is people on the right who are addicted to complaining about how much they lose.
Yes.
They're beautiful losers. They love talking about how much they lose. And this is their idea of taking back the culture. Like, just retire.
Listen,
retire.
If you're not careful, you'll be a libertarian. And that's unforgivable.
There's a $20 there from That Stanzatastic.
If this is the first sitcom on X and they led with their best foot forward, what kind of god-awful garbage are we in for next? Although it's good for y'all, you have a free source for cringe of the day. Also, Borak, so good.
For real.
If you must lean into political humor,
It's what the plans
which I would prefer that you didn't, right? Please hire Ryan Long.
No!
Yes.
No!
Please.
No.
There's just, I don't see
There's
any way
at least
you can do
another
this
layer to Ryan Long that isn't there. And I don't believe for a second that you're saying that.
I don't think there's any way that you can execute this correctly, honestly. It's just that bad of an idea. Maybe I'm misjudging this and this is a parody of right-wing comedy.
I mean, it could be. Then
some kind of meta thing like that.
That was the
way
point
too charitable.
Maybe that was the point of the laugh track.
Listen,
maybe.
No disrespect to Ryan Long. I met him, nice guy. Just let him do his thing. And can we, for the love of God, do things that are non-political?
That's why I said if you must.
I said
if you must.
I know, but don't.
But you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
Don't.
I said the left can't meme and the right can't art. And there has never been a better example of this than this awful. I mean, if this is ironic and it's trying to make fun of conservative art, then I stand corrected, but that I think is a way too charitable interpretation. I think they were genuinely trying with this, and yeah, you should just, hang your hat. Like, this is not it. You were not cooking.
For real.
Like,
it's even poorly produced.
Did no one say,
the sound mixing is bad? Like,
maybe maybe this isn't a good idea. Like, they all saw this and they were like, yeah, this is effing hilarious. They're gonna love it. What? And let's just throw Elon Musk in there because
I'm almost leaning towards it's so bad that it's trolling.
Is it trolling though?
No, but the quality's bad is what I'm saying. Like, the audio mixing is bad.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that. Like, maybe it's so bad that it's trolling.
Was this a meta attempt at trolling?
I don't know. I don't think so.
I really don't think it is.
No.
Especially the fact that they got Dave Rubin and all of these people to be involved in it.
Oh, somebody pointed out, yes, it is a live audience, not a laugh track, I guess. Because
Who's the live audience?
Yeah. No, it literally goes to live audience at the end, so they actually are being...
Oh, okay. An animated live audience. Yes. Still does not land at all. Like, was there a single joke in that wasn't a regurgitated Facebook meme or like conservative bumper sticker?
They're woke as shit in the freaking thing. It's like, oh, he's your friend and he's black. No, he ain't my black. I'm his boss. And then they do the whole like, oh, they're just having a beer with the boys. Like,
Sketch Therapy asks if they're trolling Ben Shapiro.
Is it? I don't know.
Ben Shapiro would do shit like this.
Well, he's at the Daily Wire. They did Mr. Burcham. This looks like, I guess, a parody of Mr. Burcham. Yeah. Maybe.
Listen, it's trying to be funny, and it's not. Humor comes from love. Even if you're mocking someone, it comes from love. Okay, this isn't humorous. This is typical boomer. Woe is me. Like, why does everyone hate me?
It's literally just feeling sorry for yourself.
It is. It's so
that's
lame.
why it's called the woke right, because it's this self-indulgent,
It's the
complaining,
boomer version of
whining
this
nonsense.
He's got an ankle bracelet. Like, I'm so locked up in my house that I bought for 3 strawberries in 1969. Because
my teenage daughter wears a beanie and gauges in her ears.
So,
I got a 20 from That Stanzatastic. He said, there is a twist, though. Hopefully. They used AI voices for all these people. Also, it was so bad, I think it was written by an AI. It feels like it. Right-wing AI writing jokes in the voice of a terrible writer?
Maybe. So in that respect, would it also be just as annoying if it was a defeatist millennial complaining about how the boomer parents bought their house for 3 strawberries?
Listen, I am objective, but not about boomers. I'm just blind rage. So I'm not the guy to ask this question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everyone involved in this just needs a serious wake-up call.
For
Like,
real,
if this
it's
was a
bad.
sincere attempt at making a sitcom, just accept that you don't have talent, stick to political commentary, because that's what you've excelled at, and stay out of the arts, because this is an actual assault on even the concept of art and humor.
I don't want to send that message out either, because I don't want every single show to be about Jedis discovering their sexuality.
James Higgins says, has any of you seen an 80s movie? It doesn't seem that way. They were so bad they were good. My friend, this is not that.
Yeah, you're wrong.
This is not that.
This is another
Look,
level.
One of my favorite movies of all time is a movie called Rad, which was a BMX biking movie from 1986 that is complete with montages and the concept that one can only take their SATs once. So the point being,
the spirit of the age was whimsy, and the
yes,
quality.
there is no whimsy in this,
Right, and the quality of the video was inferior. That's why, by today's standards, it's bad.
I think there was more that we missed after the outro. There's
Dear
a post-credit
God.
scene.
I love there's like this genius bit at the end that makes it all make sense.
Let's see if that saves it. Okay.
Smoke nightmare will end. Thank God for Elon Musk. And this shit post memes. X is the home for free speech.
It does sound like
I almost forgot.
Dude, this is so.
Wait, I want to see the ending.
We're going to Disney World.
Make America funny again.
There is like a meta going around on like Instagram of like AI making country songs. Maybe that's what this is. It's an AI country
The song sounded like it was AI. I really
They couldn't
hope
get John Rich to do it.
I hope this is some kind of like grand master plan to like troll the right. But unfortunately, I just don't have that much faith in these people.
Me neither.
This is an abomination.
I
just felt like we had to share, because wokeness, as you've said multiple times, it's going to fade away and get replaced by something worse. I don't know if the worst thing is anti-woke or something else entirely.
So far it is.
But we have gotten past peak woke, which was probably back in 2020.
Dude, I'm at the point where progressives are just sad, and this is cringe.
Yeah.
Like, they're just, like, I pity them.
Because I don't feel bad for the people who made this.
Like, they're having public therapy sessions because their regularly scheduled therapy isn't working. You know what I mean?
If
they're broken people.
If
This
was
is
designed to make fun of right-wing content, like if this was called Mr. Churchum, and this was designed to make fun of the Daily Wire's animated movie, that this would actually have some legs to stand on.
But it's not funny.
But it's not funny. and
Uh-huh.
there's no implicit, story that says that that's what this is doing.
It's because
Let's just hold on to hope that it's satire.
No, they did everything at once. They did the race issue, the non-binary, the kids, the boomer, the dog, all at once. Like, they need to. I mean, I don't even want to give you advice. Just shut this shit down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to.
I can't.
Elon, you pay for this.
These people need to go to a re-education camp.
You pay for this.
Fantastic, guys.
That took a hit to your will to live today.
Yeah,
Give us a deal. What do you mean?
I'm sure we could come up with something.
All right. Super chat.
Thank you, guys.
Just dance the pain away.
Dancing the pain away. Dancing the cringe away.
It hurts.
I don't know if I can cope with this anymore.
I have to wear an ankle bracelet
Podcast
in my
co-host
house.
is non-binary.
My podcast co-host is a Gen Z non-binary.
The camera that records me on my podcast is gay.
Okay, not that Jon Stewart said actual video game violence. Yeah.
That's what it was.
Shadow Zero said dumbest part is the game is being shut down tomorrow.
he had to do it before the game goes
Oh.
offline.
Shane H. Wilder said, get this Ursula-looking MFer off WTF Nickelodeon.
Seriously.
See, there's that extreme end, and then there's whatever the fuck that was.
Dude, they are.
And I hate both.
Same.
I'm going to be the radical centrist for the first time in my life and say both of these things.
Careful. That's how you become a libertarian.
I am not going to become a libertarian.
Careful. That's how you start like, oh, what you do in your own house?
You must embrace the knowledge that cringe will come from all sides.
Yes.
Yeah. Shane H. Wilder said, it is Orange Boy summer. Keep up with the times.
Look, also, it's fair to point out, like, you say, like, yes, libertarians are cringe. Yes, but you're thankful for it when stuff like that gets made and you don't have to pretend like it's good.
True.
What?
True.
The video we just watched. Like, I don't have to pretend like what I just watched was good.
Neither do I. I haven't.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Political polarization being what it was, there's going to be people that are pretending like what they just watched there was actually good, and I feel bad for them.
I don't even know if you could say it was bad, but it was done with good intentions. I don't even think it was done with good intentions.
I don't think it had intentions.
It was just
It just
actual
was.
vomit. It was, visual vomit. Yesh said very disrespectful. Dubby Nanners said Dane should have a show fixing TikTok creators.
They cannot be fixed.
Really? They're beyond hope?
Dude, yeah. I truly think
You
so.
couldn't, like, snap them back into reality?
How?
I don't know. I mean, it would be better than nothing.
Fine, I'll take millions of dollars.
Let's
try.
go two more.
Okay, Tacti Platy said, I agree with Dane about Twitch.
Thank you.
Shane H. Wilder said, the cringe just shows that we are a godless society. She needs Jesus. I'm not even being sarcastic for once. Faith would fix this crap.
Dude, I would like to non-ironically talk to the girl about the one we were talking about in the last episode that went on that stupid rant about how she's a hot slut nerd.
Oh,
gamer chick.
Alyssa Mercante.
Yeah. If she can be reached, anyone can be reached.
I guess we'll have to see when you have your show.
Let's hold off on the rest. Let's come back after the fact. Time to talk about getting engaged to own the libs.
Yeah, speaking of anti-wokeness, so a right-wing newscaster named Addison Smith posted an announcement of his recent engagement to his now fiancée, Charisse Edwards, who happens to be the producer for Lou Dobbs Tonight. They are both openly right-wing people. And in that post, he captioned it, Pride Month is so defeated. I love you at Charisse Edwards. And there is the photo of him on one knee proposing to her and the photo of the ring. Would have been totally wholesome had it not been for the insane backlash that followed with headlines like fragile heterosexuality. Is this the saddest, most douchebag engagement announcement of all time? From Queerty, the Daily Beast said ex-Newsmax star gets brutally roasted for making his wedding proposal about hating gay people. And Daily Mail, man's engagement post showing him on bended knee in front of glamorous girlfriend sparks brutal backlash. Quote, condolences to your wife.
Yeah, this got covered by Daily Mail.
Why doesn't the girl get shit?
Well, primarily because he was the one who posted it.
Well, he be like, oh, glamorous girlfriend. He's like, she was down with making.
Yeah, she also is
engagement.
completely on his side, which I don't understand. I said if I got proposed to and the attention was about Pride Month and not the fact that I am engaged, I would be pissed off. But she seems to be on board with this.
You know, she forgave herself.
Yeah. She must have
They
forgiven
always forgive
herself.
themselves.
That's
So
my
this got,
favorite.
as of
thing.
now, 37 million impressions so far on X. It really blew up, and
I will offer them congratulations first.
Congrats
Very
if you're
happy
watching.
for people who are in love and getting married.
Yeah.
I would say that maybe making, the sanctity of marriage about something other than loving your wife or loving your husband isn't necessarily the greatest way to start things off.
He was like, I have to propose during Pride Month so that I can do this. But like with the amount of ad revenue that he's going to get from this controversy, he could probably pay for his wedding.
There you go.
Maybe.
So
Maybe that
really,
was
we're the fools.
Okay, maybe that's the point. So I'm going to go on the PSYOP train for this one and say it was actually all a plan from the beginning to pay for the wedding.
Well, unfortunately, that's not true because he posted a screenshot of his text to his fiance saying, "Fixin' to inform the libs that the ad revenue from this will be going to Trump's campaign." So he even ruined that for us.
I mean, go
and
ahead.
she found that very funny, so they're completely happy together.
Okay.
And she at least wasn't offended by the fact that
they're happy.
this
You know
became
what?
public.
Dane loves it when I say this. Minding their own business.
Say it.
But they're not mind. The thing is, they're not minding their own business, and this isn't in the privacy of their own home.
Say it! Say the libertarian thing.
Live and let live, right?
Another response said, "There's a small subset of very online people who contaminate the most joyful things in life by shoehorning everything through the lens of irrelevant culture war battles, and it's both fascinating and sad."
It does. Like, I feel bad for them because it means that their brains are so connected to what's going on in the culture war that they're not able to move away from it for a little bit for something that's supposed to be wholesome and personal and private, and I feel bad for them.
Like,
I
I'm
really
not
do.
even saying this because I'm some kind of, rabid pro Pride Month gay activist. I just think it's kind of sad that everything has to revolve around the culture war now.
Yeah.
Like, can some things remain sacred?
Listen,
apparently not.
They could do the next episode of The New Norm about this proposal.
Listen, the three of us got married in private, and our vows were beautiful.
Yeah, that's what it was.
So you don't have to share everything.
Oh man.
So he seems to be in good spirits still. He responded to this saying, "Hundreds of thousands of views, endless angry comments. The libs are triggered. Pride Month is decimated. Huge white boy summer W."
I mean, let's go.
Yeah.
I did see the meme that, like, if we're talking about who did you see the meme where it's like it's the train that like runs into the other train, and it said that it was Haktua Girl that actually ruined Pride Month this month because she's taken up so much of the airtime.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you make everything about toppling, another movement or something, you're bound to have aspects of your private life that end up, becoming victims to it. And I feel like looking back on it now, like say 10 years from now, either you win the culture war or you fade away from it and you find yourself engrossed in your family and these things don't matter to you as much. And you wonder, why did we make, our engagement about something that had nothing to do with us, really?
Yeah. I recently saw this headline that said, "Who says romance is dead? Right-wing influencers launch campaign to outbreed the left." And this says, far-right figures, libs of TikTok, and Charlie Kirk both said they plan to outbreed the left this week by having more children than liberals and raising them to have right-wing views. I think you should have a family for better reasons than your political opponents and the weird culture war that you think you're a part of.
Yeah.
Because obviously that is a wholesome aspiration in life. Most people want to be married and have a family, and I don't think that you should politicize it and ruin the sanctity of that institution by making it into a weird battle in a culture war. It's just cheap. It cheapens the whole idea of what marriage and family really is.
I'll give you the opposite perspective. If we were to look at this from the perspective of leftists, if they were actually going to hold themselves accountable, right? One of the worst things is when people come out during Pride Month. Okay, and that's a thing that happens in various industries where they announce themselves as non-binary or they announce themselves as bi or gay, and they wait until June to do it. That is as performative as it gets for something like that, and they should their own colleagues should hold them accountable for doing something as cringe as that as well. Yeah. It's like those old commercials. This is your brain on drugs, and it shows like the egg. Right? This is your brain on culture war.
Of course. It deserves a mention that they're only posting stuff like this to be incendiary because of the extreme show of wokeness, I guess you would call it, during Pride Month and the rest of the year. It makes people feel like they're cornered and they have to push back. And maybe this is what that looks like. I just don't think it's the right way to go about it, because you shouldn't get married as a status symbol. Like that makes it very shallow. And I'm not saying that this guy specifically is doing that. He probably just wanted to have a laugh. But as a general concept, like, you should not get married so that people on the internet think you're cool. I would never support that.
Okay, so do you think the idea that maybe, look, they have similar senses of humor, and to them this was funny, then I guess in a way you're still engaging as a couple about something that motivates the two of you. I guess I can see the logic in that.
But there are a lot of bad reasons to do good things. We got a 20 from Willem. He said that cartoon has the same issue as woke stuff does. It isn't a natural convo flow. Seems like a list of points they're just drawing straight lines to, and has zero natural progression. Brett, I support breakfast cereal.
What?
The cereal debate rages on after I said that it's for children.
I bought cinnamon toast frosted flakes yesterday. Mid. I still had like 3 bowls. It still tasted like another cereal.
Post cereal clarity.
Yeah.
I love that you said mid. Anyway, I had the entire box of it in a whole single sitting.
Back to what we were talking about here, so I don't have to cut this out later.
Have you ever had French Toast Crunch?
Yes. Oh, yeah. I don't see that as much as Cinnamon Toast Crunch, but I have had it.
Amazing.
Yes.
Go on.
But what were you saying before that? I don't remember.
So one of the critiques of writing when writing falls into the term of wokeness is it destroys the natural flow of storytelling, and it doesn't feel like you're actually telling a story. It feels like you're putting manufactured points into the skin suit of an actual story, and that's exactly what this was. It's why I always have the issue when people try to use the term woke in general as a descriptor for why something sucks, because what I consider a disruption to the natural point of a story and what somebody else does are vastly different. And you can get into it all day about what makes something that, but you don't even have to do that for what we watched in that new normal thing.
Yeah.
It's very obvious.
I didn't think we would reach this weird convergence today, but I think, the lesson that we can learn is that you shouldn't let online culture wars and online debates dominate your entire worldview and your personal life. Again, I'm not saying that that's what Addison Smith is doing, and congrats to them if they're just having a laugh and being silly, but you really need to, go offline and touch grass. That is a saying for a reason.
I'll give you an example of a show that, like, a good example of where I saw it last night and it bothered me. Olivia's watching a show called Jane the Virgin.
Okay.
It's like it was like a network TV telenovela that ran. I think it was like on ABC from like 2014 to 2019. And there's a scene where a grandmother is in a hospital and she's an illegal immigrant, and the whole point is, like, the show, for the most part, at least in what I've seen in the first season, which I've never seen the show before, it's perfectly acceptable. It's not a genre that I would watch, but it's not what you describe as woke. But they start talking for just 10 seconds about the idea of medical repatriation, and they're going to send her back to Venezuela. And then it puts on the screen what medical repatriation is, and then puts hashtag immigration reform. And I just...
Wait.
That's crazy.
Can you explain that? So they're having that scene, and they just superimpose text on top of the scene.
Well, I mean, that's a theme of the show. They do that multiple times. But in this case,
wild,
they
though.
just put hashtag immigration reform, and I just lost it. And I'm like, in the rest of the show, at least from what I've seen, isn't a genre that I would watch, but is perfectly fine. It actually has deeply Catholic themes because the main character is Catholic. Jane the Virgin is a Catholic.
Jessica, if you're watching, we need a thumbnail for this segment, and we need hashtag send them back.
And I'm like, I don't want to hear about medical repatriation. I don't. And it was
just one of those Easter eggs can really.
And even if they had left
ruin the whole thing.
On the screen, the text also says, "This is a real thing." So it's the writer of the show telling you that what they're doing is wrong and that it's ridiculous. And then it immediately puts me into the conversation of, well, and then I have to start asking the question, well, the lady's technically in the wrong because she's in the country illegally. Not a discussion I want to have while watching a telenovela. Okay, but you made it happen by putting it on screen, you idiot. The rest of the show is fine.
Yeah.
The point being that that's an example from like a semi-modern, I guess 2014, if you want to call that modern, 10 years ago, example where it took me out of it in the moment, and that's what you want to do. That's what you don't want to do. You don't want to take them out of what they're watching.
It's like that Batman scene where she's like, the rich white man.
Yeah, exactly. Like it takes something that was for the most part timeless and had dialogue that didn't really have an era to it, and immediately puts you in the culture war. It's lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And by the way, that's exactly what happens. Like you literally, you're immersed and you return to your body. It was like, what was that?
Yeah,
hunk of shit.
Exactly.
All right, let's finish up these super chats. Shane H. Wilder said, the fact that James was able to keep up in a suit with a laptop shows James doesn't skip leg day. You can't skip leg day and do the Lord's work.
He must not sweat either to be in like the heavy suit, the suit, the jacket. That's
in great shape. Surenko Productions said, isn't it illegal to film without consent in CA?
Again, I don't know.
We don't know. Rhaegar Targaryen said, what is a D'Amelio? Is this a Zoomer thing?
You'll have to explain to people what a D'Amelio is.
You know what a D'Amelio is, right?
I know
two girls that dance like this.
Yeah, they were like the OG TikTok dancers. There are a couple of sisters named Dixie and Charlie, and the guy in that video was Charlie's ex-boyfriend. I don't know why I know that. Pop Culture Junkie said, California is a two-party consent state. I think there are some narrow exceptions, but I don't think these videos would qualify.
Yeah.
Okay. Shane H. Wilder said they have bottles of Taco Bell sauce at Target. Also, giraffe tongues are blue. That was the joke. I didn't know that.
Well,
That's
if you
bizarre.
have to explain.
Wow.
I didn't know that. I also didn't know that Taco Bell sauce was sold at Target. That's good to know. Surenko Productions said, this is what I mean by Facebook boomer level humor. Mr. Burcham is guilty of the same caliber of jokes. We should just give Seamus the money instead. I'm sure Seamus and George Alexopoulos saw that and were deeply disgusted.
Seamus had one on last Christmas. Cause he sometimes sends me them so I can help him with the titles. He had one for last Christmas that was so freaking funny. It's like
when you're good, you're good.
Santa Claus being a terrorist or something. It was like crazy.
I did see the trailer.
That whole arc.
I did see the trailer for, what was it, Red 1?
Yeah.
I actually liked it.
Okay, I wanted to react to it, but
like it's a ridiculous concept where The Rock basically plays like Santa Claus's bodyguard, played by J.K. Simmons, and then Santa Claus gets abducted, and then The Rock and so they have to go on a mission to find Red 1. Red 1 being Santa Claus.
Yeah, sounds fun.
It's ridiculous, but I'm kind of here for it.
Dude, there's a game that's called Squirrel with a Gun.
Yeah,
we
saw that.
mentioned that the other day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Amazing.
I know.
Surenko Productions said, oh, sorry, that's Dancetastic. Oh, no, that was a $20 one. Rhaegar Targaryen, the new norm is a 4D chess trolling campaign. Most of the voice actors probably just recorded things. Try to look up who created the show. Go ahead.
Okay, or like...
Is it actually satire, then? Because until I see a confirmation of that, I don't know if I'm willing to believe it. But I guess we'll see. Rhaegar Targaryen said, I think someone who hates these guys made an AI show.
Maybe.
I would sue if I were one of them.
Yeah.
Pop Culture Junkie said the new norm performs an important function in the humor ecosystem. An example of what not to do.
Seriously.
Yeah. On the ragged...
Well, I'm glad that chat's,
Yan?
On the same page.
Yeah. He said, Q for all. What was the last good TV comedy that wasn't political? In recent years?
I don't watch a lot of just straight up comedies. The last...
I thought that the Ted show
Oh,
was
yeah, you
pretty
liked
good.
Ted.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have called Twisted Metal a comedy, but I liked the Twisted Metal TV show, and that had comedic elements to it.
I don't watch... I watch shitty reality television with my wife, and I don't really watch movies anymore. I just watch streams.
Just go through and rewatch 30 Rock. You'll thank me later.
Yeah. Not that John Stewart said, I had 3 bowls is the fattest thing I've heard in a while. I'm fatter than you. I can say that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
To be fair,
What is that referring to?
my 3 bowls of
Oh,
cereal.
your cereal.
I spaced them out throughout the night. I did not have them all at
Oh,
once.
that's great.
In my head canon, you just had...
No. I had one. I had another one later.
In my head, you poured milk in the box, and then you scooped it. And your girl looked at you in disgust, and you're like, what?
Leave me alone. It's a new cereal, okay?
It's cereal time.
Cereal time.
Christina Lee said, why not let Seamus make the cartoon for X? Well, Seamus would have never...
He freaking should.
He would have never been a part of such a thing. He's
Rhaegar
better than that.
Targaryen says, Brett over here going on the Lizzo diet. Basically.
By the end of this, you're just going to be taking up half the studio.
But here's the thing. I won't ask you to call me beautiful or tell me that I look good, so it'll be fair.
Yeah, not nearly as bad as Lizzo. Okay, now that we've caught up on Super Chats, I think that we should do a little bit of a meme review.
Well, you just want to show the Wojak AI.
Yeah, I was like messing with this AI Wojak generator, and I made Wojaks of all 3 of us.
It makes no sense. It's utterly incomprehensible.
But I love that.
And I was looking at it last night, and I thought I was having a seizure.
I also made one that said like pop culture podcaster.
I thought I was having a stroke when I was reading this stuff last night. Let's take a look here. This one is pop culture podcaster.
Let's unpack this. Hasn't left house in 3 years. Like and subscribe. Has 12 listeners, all family members. We need to talk about Nobody Asked. That is the ultimate read of this show. Hot take incoming, regurgitates Twitter opinions.
Well, okay,
Spoiler alert, ruins every new release.
Hot take is usually just a preface, or actually hot take doesn't bother me. It's when somebody says unpopular opinion.
Yeah. But I think we do have some genuinely unpopular opinions.
Yeah, real unpopular
from time to
opinion,
time.
but New Norm wasn't good, okay? And I know that that's controversial. And I don't think the Boomer Humor comedy sketch cartoon wasn't any good, but totally a hot take.
I don't think either of us look like the Wojak, for what it's worth. Actually, in the comics, hasn't read a book without pictures. Let's dive deep, scratches the surface of every topic. It's problematic, has 0 real world experience. I don't think we've ever called something problematic unless it was in jest.
Let's dive deep is something that you don't usually do on a live stream. That's usually done for people who make...
Well, it's a podcaster, not a live stream.
Video essayists.
Name 3
dive
books.
deep.
Yeah. I also put in my own name. And it just...
First of all, they did you dirty with the drawing.
It made the live, laugh, love chick into a Wojak. I'm not like other girls, has pumpkin spice latte addiction.
That's not true.
I'm an entrepreneur, sells MLM products to friends. Wine o'clock. It's 10 a.m. on a Tuesday. I'm so random, has the personality of stale bread. Namaste, road rages on the way to yoga. Okay, I definitely wouldn't
Do you guys remember
going to yoga.
that song? We're at the club on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
It was
I
a
remember that
terrible
one.
fucking song.
It was a lot on Vine.
This one
actually.
isn't you either. Looking for my soulmate on her 5th Tinder date this week.
Yeah, fortunately, I cannot say that for myself. My kids are my world. Ignores them for Instagram.
I mean, that's not a Mary thing or even a podcaster thing. That's an Instagram thought thing. That's for Alexis on Instagram, who has the kids Aiden, Braden, and Zayden. And says, my kids are my world, and drives a Nissan Altima.
That's alternate dimension Mary that got scooped by the Disney Channel early.
True. The second Mary Wojak says, I'm an empath, ghosted 3 guys this week. If you consider ignoring my DM requests ghosting, that would be true.
Maybe.
Yeah, live, laugh, love, hasn't laughed since 2019. That's actually true.
I mean, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Okay, but the next one about you, the Wojak actually generated one that looks like you.
I like it.
I want you to make that your profile picture on Twitter.
I will not.
That does not look like you, for the record.
I mean, the haircut's definitely there.
My hair's longer.
And the reason I think it found you online is because of the headphones. Like, I think it might have found a picture
But
of
I
you.
don't wear over-ear headphones.
You're wearing them right now. That's my point.
Okay.
I'm totally self-made.
That's bread,
Daddy's
not bread.
trust fund paid for my startup.
Look, okay, so recently when I made when we did a segment where I said, like, look, famous celebrities have problems too. They're like, sounds like somebody who's never had money trouble in his entire life. And I'm like, bro, if you only knew.
This is that comment. Hustle culture is everything, hasn't worked a real job in years.
I mean, it depends on whether you call this a real job.
Well, we joke about that a lot.
Yes.
Check out my TED Talk. It was a local open mic night.
I would never be invited to a TED Talk. TEDx, maybe. I still don't even know what the difference is, but I do know that TEDx talks are for the for the less important people. So if I was to get a TED Talk, it would definitely be a TEDx and not a regular
You know
TED
when
Talk.
I was a shit lib, that used to be one of my goals in life.
To
have a TED Talk?
So
you should do it now.
So you could do this.
What, dude?
Yeah, just troll
guys.
TEDx.
Libertarians.
Boomers.
Boomers.
Let's grab coffee and talk synergy. Just wants to pitch his MLM.
That's not bread at all.
You have a crypto portfolio though.
I don't have any Dogecoin though.
Okay.
I don't have any Dogecoin.
I'm a thought leader in this space, has 500 LinkedIn followers.
I have no LinkedIn. That's for damn sure. I do not have a LinkedIn
I unfortunately
profile.
have a LinkedIn profile.
I might have to make one at some point now.
I was forced to make a LinkedIn profile like back when I was in high school.
Look. This guy is way too self-assured to ever be me.
I wouldn't see
How do you
that
make
shit-eating grin on your face in a million years.
How do you make these? I want to make one for me.
It's like glyph.
I'm disrupting the industry. Made an app that's Uber for pet rocks.
That would actually be a good side hustle for you.
That was awesome.
I need a second job. All right.
There's a second Brett one.
Okay. Oh, gosh.
Oh my god.
Why am I bald?
No, this one is you. We need to pivot. Spins an office chair to look busy.
That's
you are
me.
a spinner.
I'm
a chair spinner.
I'm a fidgeter.
Let's take this offline. Goes radio silent for days.
I mean, that could be me too on the weekends, I guess.
That's what you aspire to. Let's circle back on that. Forgets to follow up for weeks. We're both guilty of that one.
Yeah. I'm a disruptor. Disrupts meetings by showing up late. I am punctual.
Okay, so the one I made for Dane makes you look. It makes you look like a Taliban member.
I have one.
It makes you look like a member of the Taliban.
Or you're an Italian and you have like a boat.
Also,
an Italian pirate.
I put in Dane font and it just assumed that you were obsessed with fonts. It says this logo needs more fonts, uses 17 different typefaces. It's not Comic Sans, uses papyrus instead.
Look,
I'm a typography expert, thinks Helvetica is exotic.
Did you see that?
That was a
Did
dig.
you see that they made the Ryan Gosling papyrus thing about Avatar?
Oh,
how
yeah.
they just used papyrus. They made Papyrus 2 when Avatar 2 came out. It's amazing.
My portfolio is my masterpiece. It's a Word document. Legibility is for amateurs. Designs unreadable wedding invitations. Are you guilty of
I would
that?
never. I would never.
Oh, this one is you. I don't need spell check. Misspells client's name and final product.
There you go.
You're a Grammarly stan.
I am.
Okay, so then I also made one that was for Marketing Man Extraordinaire because your name wasn't working.
Marketing Man is creepy looking.
Our product is revolutionary. It's a rebranded toothpick. It's not lying. It's creative storytelling. Couldn't sell water in a desert. Actually, it's not lying. It's creative storytelling is a read of me when I'm trying to get Brett to lie in our thumbnails.
She's like, I'm like, what if we softened it to the truth? And she's like, let's not.
We're disrupting the industry. Just added a chatbot to the website. I don't know why it made you bald too, Dane.
I don't know. I'm a hairy guy.
You have a good head of hair.
I do.
And there was also pop culture analyst.
Yes.
Which came up for pop culture
The
podcast.
picture is right on for us there.
Is that us?
Yeah.
Music was better in my day. Only listens to lo-fi beats. Is that you?
No.
Okay.
I listen to lo-fi.
Cancel culture has gone too far. Cancels people daily on Twitter.
No.
Not us. We're in a content crisis. Binge watches 17 shows simultaneously. That is you. That is 100% you.
I have to apologize to Olivia Daly that we never get past like 5 episodes at a time of a show before we watch something else. I can't watch.
It's more than 17 at once.
Yes, it's far more than that.
Does this USA Network still exist?
Yes.
Yeah, it's still out there.
But not in the way
Fallen
that it
from
used
grace. Celebrity culture is
They
dead.
really make great shows.
Follows
They did.
500 influencers. Is that you?
No.
Gen
I mean, it
Z's-
depends, like, are we talking about like people in this space? Like, we have to follow people
Yeah.
who work in this space.
It's part of the job. We're coping. We're seething and coping. Gen Z is killing everything. Can't understand TikTok trends.
We hired a Gen Z person specifically to prevent that from happening.
And guess what happened? She got banned on TikTok 2 weeks later.
Yep.
Streaming is ruining cinema. Hasn't been to a theater in 5 years. Without going to the movie theater for our movie reviews, would you even go?
For certain movies, certainly not for all of them. Like,
Yeah.
we're gonna go see Twisters. I don't know if I would have gone and seen Twisters on its own.
I don't know. You've been excited about that movie for a while.
Fair. I don't know.
This one stings. We need more original content. Praises 47th Marvel remake.
Not true. Definitely true about the what was the other one that I saw up there?
About
the 90s where peak culture was born in 1999. I was not born in 1999.
But you weren't an adult during the 90s.
No, I was
so-
born. I was born in '86, so I actually got to grow up during the greatest decade in human history.
But I was just ranting about how it must have been like so fun to be an adult in the 90s. No emails, just raw dogging life.
AOL discs to get your internet every once in a while.
Raw dogging life.
That's a new trend. I keep seeing people talking about raw dogging flights, no internet, no books, just.
I applaud it if they're being truthful.
Yeah.
But they are filming TikToks.
You know, a lesson that I should have taken. I remember my father once told me. He always had like a shit phone, and I was like, why don't you have an iPhone or something? He's like, the company wants to give me one, but I don't want it because the second I do, they're gonna send me emails at night.
Yep.
Yeah.
My dad didn't get a smartphone until like last year. It took forever to get him
Good
to
for him.
get a flip phone, and he had that flip phone for like.
The longer you can go without
Yeah.
the internet in your pocket, the better.
Yep.
Okay, we've got a few more super chats. Shane H. Wilder said the new norm is just all in the family without the humor.
It's not anything.
I never
it's
watched
just
that, but it's
horrible.
it's a non-entity.
Yeah.
Potatoes for Seamus said, I vote we keep Dane. He gives us Red Lobster.
Keep me for what?
Your Red Lobster? I don't know.
That's a Castle.
Oh, okay.
Reference.
Shane H. Wilder said, Mary doing PCC memes. Why are you trying to take my job? Women trying to take men's jobs needs to
They're
stop.
taking the gerbs.
Yeah.
I mean, so then you make a sandwich and be like, haha.
We will do a proper meme review at some point soon, but we don't have the time for it today. DCNC said, how is Hawk Tua beating Hannah?
I don't know.
think
Hannah's way hotter.
Mary says recency bias.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
We're going to end the poll with that being said, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, so Hawk Tua girl won.
With 42% of the vote, Hannah Barron came in with 35% and Tiffany Gomez with just 22%. Apparently they're upset that
Tiffany
she hasn't
Gomez.
quite talked about what exactly wasn't real on that plane, and they're upset.
Tiff.
I want to hear the real story. I just don't believe she's going to tell it. Red Snow said no jokes today, but praise be to Space King.
Okay.
What is that? Do you know what
I
that
don't know what
means?
the reference is.
Okay, I don't know the reference. Sorry.
All right, we're gonna hang out here until 5 because they get mad when you sign out early. I understand,
That's okay.
They don't want us to just clock out early. The bosses never like that.
Well, the chat are our bosses, not Tim. Unfortunately,
That is true.
Those are the rules. Someone said Hawk Tua isn't political. Is that why it blew up?
Yes. Yes, I mean, that's kind of what I was trying to explain when I said, like, these are the types of things that bring people together. You can make it political and talk about the decency of her talking about these things in public. Shut up! It's just a thing that happened, okay? And it's not that deep. You know that phrase?
Wait,
It's
you
not
said
deep?
that you heard she's a lesbian.
Again, I don't...
No, lies.
Probably lies, okay? And I don't know. I also heard she was a preschool teacher and that was fake, too. They're building whole lore around this woman.
Listen, here's the reason why she's super famous and super viral. Do you guys remember that meme that's like a chick getting compliments daily, acts like it's nothing, a guy getting complimented by an abuelita in a grocery store once?
Remembers it forever.
This is a girl that she got an interview. The first thing she says is like, I love you, baby, like forever and whatever. And then she gets asked like, how does she please her man? And she gives a very graphic and...
How does she what?
How does he please her man?
Oh, yeah.
Like, how do you keep your man pleased? And she gives a very graphic, you know, and sexual, like, innuendo. And everyone's like, this chick rules.
Woden Shot says, it was indecent, Brett. Seethe.
What was?
What she said, yes.
Well, of course it was, but I feel like that was the point, right?
Yes. And
personally, I wouldn't be in that situation.
Correct.
I'm built different. I don't do street interviews. I would not do a street interview in the middle of the night while I'm drunk because that's just always a bad idea.
One more from Potatoes for Seamus.
We have a few more. Shane H. Wilder said, me spends hours in Photoshop and video editing. Mary uses meme generator. We are not the same. LOL. Just kidding, Mary. It's okay. You definitely put more heart and soul into your memes than I do. Red Snow said, Space King is a Warhammer 40K parody on YouTube. Okay, well, I haven't seen that, but whatever it is, it's better than the new norm. Potatoes for Seamus said, Brett, how dare you leave yesterday without reading those lost super chats? Also, Brett, when's the wedding date? Wait, were there lost super chats?
What were the lost super chats?
Sometimes the spreadsheet that I use to read your super chats glitches. One doesn't show up.
Look, if one
I try to be thorough.
If one comes through after I hit the outro button, that's the way it is, guys.
Yeah, you got to get in whatever you have to say while you have a chance.
Yep. That's why there's a time limit on these things.
Let's give this person validation. Hey, wow, that was a great super chat. You know, the point was topical.
We're validating your feelings.
And as someone look up his name, insert it now. Oh, hey. That was great. Thanks. We love you. You're our favorite little person.
Correct. Yeah. And then I did, however, thank Francisco Sanchez Jr. for the big super chat that he gave after the show went off the air on Monday, which got us to Crisis Party number 3.
Yeah.
On Monday.
We didn't see that until we went off the air. We would have given a post-credit scene to read it.
That's the most Hispanic name, Francisco Sanchez Jr.
It's almost more of a mouthful than Raymond G. Stanley Jr.
Yep.
That Catholic gamer said, I like Brett because we grew up on the same stuff, but stop mentioning the TMNT scene. You make me rewatch it 50 times every time you do.
I would have to know what TMNT scene you're
Is it the one behind you?
If you're referring to this one that's from the picture, I don't know, but the one I always reference that my favorite scene in that movie is the fight scene between the Turtles and Shredder, you know, on the building, on the rooftop at the end of the movie, because Shredder murks all of them, and that's awesome.
Shane H. Wilder said there were like 5 during Shilling. It happens.
Okay. I don't know.
Shilling? Is that what you call our outro?
Is that what it is? It's housekeeping. When you're doing the outros and stuff like that. We're getting quite close to the third Crisis Party today.
Well, we're just gonna wait.
Yes.
We're just gonna sit here.
Jeff Gann says that TMNT 1990 is a classic. Yes, it absolutely is.
I never watched it.
It's you're missing out. It's quite good.
Was growing up in the 90s really all it was cracked up to be?
I mean, I loved it, but I don't know if it's because I had a good childhood and was, you know. I don't know how that translates to whether it would be different now, or if it's just like you miss the days when you had less responsibilities. But do I think it was probably better to grow up in an era where you didn't have your phone on you at all time, and you kind of overly romanticize, you know, come back when the streetlights come on? Yeah, I think
Pop culture was positive. It was whimsy. It was, you know,
just the amount of sports movies that I got to experience growing up was a beautiful thing. You know,
we could all like a thing,
yeah,
and enjoy it without it being terrible.
Yeah,
but whimsy died in 2012, like way later than that.
I still say that a lot of it is like the world would, like, if you had dropped social media and phones into the 1990s, there would have been just as much toxicity.
Of course.
Because you just weren't connected to that many people.
I think it started with BuzzFeed. I think BuzzFeed was so... I don't know.
Are they to blame for all of
Well,
this?
think about like all the people, like if you get into an argument with people on the internet, right? How many people did you actually argue with in your life before the internet?
Oh, countless.
Well, that's just the type of MF you are.
Yeah, but the average person did not.
Okay, we have another from That Catholic Gamer Guy. He said, rooftop scene, it's freaking awesome.
It is. I always point out the part where the turtles are all, they get their asses kicked, they're regrouping, they're talking to each other, and Shredder turns his back on them. The disrespect to the turtles. Incredible.
Stefan Buttles said, 90s were awesome, born in 91.
There you go.
Shane H. Wilder said, Brett, I had a good childhood, unlike you losers.
Yeah, sucks to be all y'all who didn't get to grow up during the
Ouch.
90s.
Potatoes for Seamus said, I don't know, here, take my money.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Much appreciated.
It is.
Not that John Stewart said, Phantom Super Chats, let's go.
There you go.
Ghost Chats.
Yes, Ghost Chats. We did get the third Crisis Party, so that will be incoming.
I think I spoke to Potatoes for Seamus on the Discord once.
Justin Campbell says, I need hot takes on TMNT.
Thank you.
That's pretty quick.
Yeah, that was surprisingly soon.
Somebody says, I watched all episodes of Power Rangers. I did go over to my grandparents and watch the Power Rangers pretty regularly. I do remember, the part I remember the most vividly is the evil Green Ranger arc, and of course when he eventually goes away and becomes the White Ranger. Can't really make a white power story these days.
No, no, you can't.
You can't really do that one anymore. But
And making the Asian Ranger the yellow
one
Ranger.
and the Black Ranger, the Black Ranger.
She died.
Yes, the original did. Yep, in a car accident, I believe.
I don't know. Tis a shame.
Yeah, and then Amy Jo Johnson went on to be mildly more successful than the rest of them.
Everyone's favorite crush.
Yes. Yep. There's one more there.
Potatoes for Seamus asked, how tall is Mary, Brett, and Dane? All combined? No, I'm 5'1".
6'3", 6'4".
You?
5'5".
There was some hesitation. Be proud of it.
There was no hesitation. There's nothing worse than people who round up. Like it's like 5'6".
Oh, crime's pretty bad.
No,
you know?
no. It's like, remember when we had the discussion about like 5'11" rounding up to 6 feet? Embrace your 5'11".
Because if he says 5'11" on a dating profile, I'm gonna assume he's a very honest fellow.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a green flag.
It's still tall.
Yeah, it is still tall. I mean, there's literally no difference, especially if you're a woman who's like around my height. Literally, if you meet someone in person, you just think they're tall. Like,
dude, for me, it's super unnerving when I meet someone taller than me because it never happens. And so when they're way bigger than me, it freaks me
Who's
out.
the tallest person that's come to IRL that you've met?
I don't know.
who's the tallest person at the company? Is it Wesley?
Yeah, Wesley. Yeah.
Is Wesley taller than you?
I don't know. We're about the same.
Okay. He's lankier though.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
He might be.
You might be. High Voltage 75 said, "Are you as tall or taller than your parents?"
Me and my father are the exact same size. Why are you asking?
I don't know.
Are these like security questions on the internet that I'm gonna?
What's your birth date?
What was the name of the street you grew up on?
I'm taller than my mom, but not my dad.
First pet name.
Yeah, first car.
Yeah.
That Catholic gamer said, "Remember Eek the cat." Also, Mary, watch Daria.
Daria?
Should I?
You know what that is?
I know what it is. I've never seen it.
I also was less. I get a lot of crap on this channel sometimes because like I won't get any Nickelodeon references because I didn't have cable growing up.
So Eek the cat.
I don't know if that's I'm just pointing out that
I've never heard
there's
of
a lot
it.
of I don't know what Eek the cat is, but I'm saying that there's a lot of stuff that I didn't see. One, because I was playing sports and was actually out in the world doing things and wasn't as invested in stuff like that until I got a little bit older. But there's like whole swaths of culture that I missed just because I was doing other things.
Thursday said, "What are your mother's maiden names?" Thanks. Well, since you asked.
Funny you asked.
That's funny you asked.
Boinsrag.
Yes. I don't have anything funny off the top of my head, but trust me, if I would have thought of it, it would have been funny.
I just had the randomest thought.
What?
So Hitler's a last name, but clearly some people should have that last name. Did you just change it?
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To
It's
what?
like probably illegal in Germany to have that last name.
Illegal?
Adolf is banned, right?
Yeah, you can't name your kid Adolf, which is
Yeah.
kind of nuts.
Yeah.
A little bit overkill there.
Yep.
Shane H. Wilder said, we still need to get married to watch Major Pain.
You should watch Major Pain.
You think I would like it?
I don't know if you...
Okay, so it's irrelevant whether or not I would
think
like it.
you
I should
might-
watch it even though I hate
You
it.
should watch it even if you don't like it.
Okay.
Nice.
Gordon Shumway said, I was a young adult in the 90s. It was a good time. The grunge scene, midnight raves, the beginning of Lollapalooza, hardcore punk and ska, and gas was less than $1. Daria is on Paramount, by the way. Highly recommend.
It was okay.
Imagine, like...
I don't know about missing ska, but the rest of that, great.
Yeah.
Ska sucks.
Yeah.
Imagine, like, somebody other than me having Paramount Plus.
Yeah, no, could never be me.
I used to have it to watch Survivor.
There you go. That makes sense.
Not that John Stewart said, my answer is 5'4" if I stand up straight.
There you go.
As you should, King.
You know,
Potatoes for
I
Seamus?
actually took personal offense to the idea that I hesitated because I've always been
Yes, you
open to
didn't.
embracing the fact that I'm just...
Okay, you didn't hesitate.
You're not tall, Brett.
You didn't hesitate.
And that's okay.
Potatoes for Seamus said, what's your favorite color? Are we just gonna keep
Orangish,
orangish blue?
Burnt umber.
Just ask for my password.
Well, what is your favorite color, Dane?
I like blue.
Okay, I thought you were gonna follow that up with something.
Because I like multiple. I like blue, purple, black, and pink.
All right,
Okay.
there's one more super chat there.
That Catholic gamer said Eek was a purple cat who always got chased by Sharky the shark dog. He used to say, it never hurts to help, then have horrible stuff happen to him.
Okay. And then we missed one above that. I didn't see that one.
Oh, Stefan Buttle, have y'all seen Black Dynamite? I want a review.
No.
We look. Is there like a TV show that you'd want to review other than The Acolyte? Like
What, like a new one or
something
an old
new
one?
that's coming out that you'd want to review? I'm always more hesitant to review shows if they're all out at once because it's such a bigger time investment. But for weekly releases.
Yeah, there's almost nothing that comes out on a weekly
You guys watch
basis
the Fallout
anymore.
We didn't review Fallout. We watched like episodes 1 and 2.
It was. I hated it, honestly, but that's just me. I know that's controversial. That's an unpopular opinion.
There's one more. There's two more there. One from
There were they them pronouns. There were non-boneries in Fallout, so I just couldn't entertain it. Gordon Shumway said, "Name of your first pet. Name on the first street you lived on, and your high school mascot."
Fiat Street.
He said Fiat. I don't know.
I literally want to share all of this.
Potatoes for Seamus said, "What's your hometown?" Well, that's a normal one.
What's your body count?
What's your body count?
All right, guys, before we go, would you hit the like button on this video and subscribe to this channel if you have not done so already? Please and thank you.
Another one from Shane H. Wilders. He said, "If you don't like it, no worries. If you like it, then I get a win as one of the few to suggest something you liked."
Okay.
Okay. I will briefly consider it.
And one more from Corn Pop.
Potatoes for Seamus said, oh no, I already read that one. Corn Pop said, thoughts on the weather? In all caps.
Sure is hot out here these days.
I gave my thoughts on the weather. I gave a whole tier list.
That's true.
Yeah, we gave you a lot of
spring,
thoughts on the weather,
summer,
actually.
winter.
Corn Pop.
Winter.
Summer, overrated.
Summer's the worst season.
Absolutely.
100%.
There's my hot take.
Yeah.
Literally.
Corn Pop, you should stop being a bad guy.
Whoa.
Start being a good guy.
You guys gonna watch the debate chat? I wonder if they're gonna watch the debate.
I wanted to ask that in the poll today, but I got shot down.
We can do that one tomorrow.
I am genuinely excited for it.
Yeah,
I
I'll
know
watch
that's really
it.
dorky, but
We'll ask that question
I'm not
tomorrow.
excited about it, but I'll watch it.
All right, Dane, let everybody know where they can find you.
So my hometown is...
let us
You can
know.
find me at 223 this street.
At Dane Font on Twitter. DaneFont.
Perfect.
Yes, and you can send me validation on Instagram at Mary Archived, or you can send me hate on X. That is also Mary Archived.
Perfect. Guys, if you want to follow me, Instagram and Twix, at Brett Dasovic on both of those platforms. PCC is here 5 days a week, Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is noon Pacific. We are on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Pandora, and Spotify. If you would like to listen rather than watch the show, I want to apologize. We had some tech issues yesterday with uploading the audio version of the podcast, but it is up now, so please go ahead and check out yesterday's episode. If you did not get a chance to check it out live, you can listen to it on Spotify
and
as well.
watch our Acolyte review.
Correct.
As well.
And if you want to follow the show on social media, we are on Twix at popculture_show, Facebook and not TikTok at Pop Culture Crisis, and on Instagram at Pop Culture Crisis Pod. Guys, we will be back with another episode tomorrow. We will see you then.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.